to streamline the government, improving efficiency and cutting wasteful spending.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed Wednesday that many media outlets, including Politico, received funds from the U.S. Agency for International Development, the agency that is currently undergoing a forensic audit by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. Leavitt said more than $8 million taxpayer dollars have gone to essentially subsidize subscriptions on the American taxpayer's dime. She said the DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now. Tasha Stevens reporting.
The president's blueprint for redeveloping Gaza draws some mixed reviews in the Mideast.
Israel says it has begun preparations for the departure of a large number of Palestinians from the Gaza Strip, in line with President Donald Trump's plans for the territory. Officials, meanwhile, said Egypt has launched a diplomatic blitz behind the scenes to try and head off the plan. The Palestinians and much of the international community have rejected Trump's proposal. Egypt has warned that such a plan could undermine its historic peace treaty with Israel. Israeli leaders have welcomed Trump's proposal. I'm Karen Shamas.
President Trump says America must return to its faith-based roots.
From the earliest days of our republic, faith in God has always been the ultimate source of the strength that beats in the hearts of our nation. We have to bring religion back.
Mr. Trump speaking at this morning's prayer breakfast at the U.S. Capitol. A second employee has died following this week's shooting at a warehouse in New Albany, Ohio, just northeast of Columbus. 4 others remain hospitalized. Ahead of this morning's opening bell on Wall Street, the Dow futures 31 points higher. NASDAQ futures down 12 points. S&P futures up 10. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Heard me talk about Relief Factor and how so many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you'd want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free too with their 3-week quick start kit for only $19.95, less than $1 a day. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain temporarily, it helps reduce or eliminate pain. Visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
April breeze, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
The interim government of Bangladesh still dealing with nationwide protests some 6 months after the overthrow of the country's former prime minister.
First, they set fire. Several items from the buildings were overthrown, and then they started bringing heavy equipment. As we speak, some of the people are using bare hands and shovels to demolish whatever is remaining. It's not only in Dhaka, also in 14 different districts where the murals, the memorials belonging to Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of Miss Hasina, and also of Awami League Party. Different buildings are being attacked. The former ministers' houses were being attacked. But the interesting thing is the security forces are standing by and they're not stopping it.
The BBC's Embarrassing Etirajan. The Rwanda-backed rebels who captured a major city in eastern Congo have sought to reassure its residents about their safety. The rebels held a rally at the city stadium in Goma earlier today, promising stability under their control. Townhall.com. A second variety of bird flu turns up in U.S. dairy cows.
The Agriculture Department reports dairy cattle in Nevada have been infected with a new type of bird flu, one that's different from the version that's been spreading in herds since last year. The detection indicates that distinct strains of the H5N1 bird flu have spilled over from wild birds into cattle at least twice. Experts say that raises new questions about wider spread and the difficulty of controlling infections in animals and the people who work closely with them. At least 67 people in the U.S. have been infected with bird flu, most of them working with dairy or cattle. I'm Ben Thomas.
Federal investigators say aggressive deceleration, a disabled braking system, and slippery tracks to blame for a 2023 Chicago train crash left dozens of people injured. The CTA train slammed into a slow-moving snowplow. It was on the tracks. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Ah, yes.
Sure happy it's Thursday.
So much closer to Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
I think we can legally say that without the express written consent of the NFL.
Yeah, no, we don't
have to say big game unless we're advertising.
Like,
something.
we're just here, just chit chatting. We can say, "Hey, Super Bowl, man, would you like a Super Bowl of chips or whatever?" You know.
I know I've talked about it before, but I miss used to be. I don't remember which organization did it, but every year they would do an event called Super. I'm gonna have to close that window. It's cold. They would do an event called the
Hush
Super
your
Bowl.
mouth.
Huh?
Don't you close that door.
So cool.
That's our only life to coolness.
I know. But no, it was like a soup.
Or bring a bowl when you get soup.
A fundraiser.
Like a BYO bowl.
I don't think it was a BYO bowl, but I think it was like they would give you I think it was like you bought like your choice of soup in a commemorative bowl or whatever.
So it's kind of like a beer fest, but with soup.
But with soup. I love soup. And I think
chowders count.
That's right.
Can you get a good chowder?
Chowders, a couple of stews. Around these pots, that and a potato, you got yourself a stew.
Bring stew and chowder.
We've had that conversation before. What constitutes a bisque versus a chowder versus a...
It's all soup.
One is more cream based. I think it's like a percentage of cream. And there's like a whole council that decides this too. The
Soup Council?
Yeah, the Soup Council. The Soup Plantation. No, it's like the American Council of Soups and Stews or something like that.
Oh, nice. Even better.
Mm-hmm.
I just got the image of just, old crotchety people in smoking jackets. Like, we're of the American Soup Council.
Yes, we are the final word in what constitutes a soup, a stew, a bisque, a chowder, if
that
you will.
is a broth.
There's like the broth lobbyists,
right? But then in the group, there's like one slightly southern guy that's a little off kilter that says, "Well, I don't know. I think we should allow a gravy to be in the soup conversation."
the crack pot in the back with the aluminum foil helmet on.
Right.
It's like, cereal's a soup. I'll die on that hill.
That's right. Look, if you can slurp it, it's a soup.
That's right. If you can eat it like this.
Yeah, I can see it. And he's like...
Bunch of protesters outside like, include ramen! How dare you?
Yeah, this oddly reminds me of a show I just started watching on Apple Plus that for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it now. But it's got Kristen Wiig. It's got a star-studded cast. Kristen Wiig.
Apple does that.
Ricky Martin.
What?
Allison Janney. Carol Burnett. I'm missing people.
So it's called Palm Royale.
That's the one. And it's like 60s Palm Beach, the rich people trying to get in the clubs, and it's a whole thing. It's a comedy.
A pageant queen who tries
drama.
to enter Palm Beach's high society, and Ricky Martin plays Robert, a war veteran and club employee. I can't imagine him as an actor.
He's acted in other things.
Has he?
Yes. Ricky Martin's been in several, I think, movies. I think Yeah.
Well, I mean, he acted straight for several years. I mean,
no, he's got a couple. He's got a filmography at this point. I think he's got a couple movies under his belt.
I'll be darned. Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea, but
yeah, it's actually not. It's not my normal cup of tea. I just saw the people that were in it. I was like, I gotta see what's going on here. That's a lot of famous people. Because I'm like, isn't Carol Burnett just passed away? But didn't she pass? I thought she just passed, didn't he, Carol Burnett?
I think she's still with us, actually.
Okay, good. But I thought I saw.
I'm over here trying to.
I thought I just remember seeing the thing saying she passed. She's gonna be my new Betty White. I think she's passed.
Okay, let's see. Now that I've Googled that question, let me find out. I had to get out what constitutes, or who decides what constitutes a soup versus a stew.
Hey,
Carol Burnett is.
Oh,
so
good.
she's
Yeah.
still with us.
Why did I think I just saw a thing where she passed. I don't know.
Well, we'll have to get to that soup
Well, it's
versus stew
ironic
question later.
because almost through the exclusive show, she plays a catatonic person. So, but anyway,
that's fair.
It just reminds me of all this the council because it's really it's like the elite in society and what they what they care about. It's kind of funny. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
When
you think about like that, like a club or like a country club or whatever, it's funny how there's a group of people who sit in a room and decide who gets to drink where.
Right.
Like, yes, you're allowed to be in our club. You can drink here.
Yeah.
You go down to the dive bar.
Well, that's exactly what it is, and she's trying to get into the elite, but really it's all about the family secrets and who this and who's holding the secrets and all this other.
Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
I started to, and then I didn't, and then life happened.
Well,
So,
and
yeah.
it's one of those. It's like Twilight Zone, where you could just go in and grab an episode, and you don't have to follow a plot or anything.
Gotcha.
They did an episode that's kind of similar to this. It's basically like, what if our entire life was like Uber, wherein any interaction that we have with anyone can either raise or lower our rating. And where you rate,
like your credit score.
like you introduce yourself as like, hi, I'm Sean, 4.5. Like you tell them what based on your ranking or whatever, that's where you were in society.
Like before that, it was like your eBay score. Like if you frequented eBay and you were, so if you had a good score, you were a
Reliable,
trusted person to buy or sell from. And yeah, I get it.
Yep. But it's very dystopian in that mindset of everybody does things not for, what needs to be done, but
how to get their number up.
Exactly.
Kind of sounds like money, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Yes. Let me give you the rundown for today's show.
That's why they call it Black Mirror. It's like a mirror on ourselves.
Exactly. But
a dark mirror on ourselves.
You're not like so deep art, man. He had the purple cloud.
I'm gonna need a minute.
He had the purple cloud go over his head.
I just snapped it. That's why it's called Black Mirror.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
all right, let me give you a palate cleanser.
Okay.
Because this one's been bugging me, and I saw it's Super Bowl week, and so they have where all the players are like in the big media room, and then all the media guys get to go around and ask them questions. It happens every Super Bowl, and then you hear, we were talking about past ones where people drinking the wrong drinks and all this other stuff. Well, that's going on this week, of course. And so I'm seeing some of the various clips from the various things. Some are pretty funny. Jameis Winston is starting to be Jameis Winston all of a sudden starting to be the media darling of the NFL right now. That guy, as soon as he's ready to retire, he's going to be the next, I think. Not in this way, but O.J. Simpson. Like, he's got that. But before the murders, O.J. Simpson.
Girls, he coming for you.
Like he's got that riz.
Yeah.
That's kind of like O.J. had.
Stop trying to make Riz happen, Mike.
Hey, now they know what it means. I will use it at all points when I need to.
It is cemented in my vernacular.
But anyway, so they're doing all that this week.
And also, thank you for telling me how to pronounce his name, because I've been calling him Jameis for so long.
Oh, Jameis?
Yeah.
It's Jameis. But so there's, now don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of the joke stuff as much, listen to Stern. Stutter and John was the master at this kind of thing. So, but I'm watching it yesterday, and there's like, apparently some guy got in there, and I don't think it got too big, but it was enough to get a Twitter following. Just going around asking like really inappropriate questions to kind of like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I could see why they're funny, but they're only, I don't know, it didn't come off good. It came off more like, haha, I'm funny. No, but it just didn't. The responses weren't good. But like they asked Travis Kelce about what's he love more, the refs or Taylor Swift or something like that. And, they asked.
So like softball.
Yeah, but not softball,
funny?
but like just
like I'm saying he didn't go like hard. He didn't like lean in on like
they were more rude,
offensive humor.
It wasn't offensive like pornographic or dirty.
Yeah, but
it was just not funny and trying to get a shocking response, and it really just came off bad. But he asked like Travis Kelce, who do you love more, the NFL refs or Taylor Swift?
Right.
And so he's like, what kind of question is that? And then I think they hit Mahomes up with something similar. I don't remember what they asked him, but the part that's getting me out of all this, it's not even that guy asking those questions, life happens, whatever. What gets me is, how does one get media credentials? And I'm feeling like maybe they should vet these people a little better, because in the video that we're seeing, and it's his video of him asking these people questions, he's got a microphone with a mic flag, but I ain't no Inspector Clouseau or nothing here. But when your mic flag's literally made out of construction paper and it looks like someone duct taped sports on the thing.
I'm a sports reporter. What?
It might be a red flag that this guy's not legit media.
Okay, look, the flags were in the mail. We thought they would be here on time, okay?
Right.
We will make do with what we have. Bring me that Kleenex box. We're going to make this work.
I'm just seeing that, like, who let this guy in? Look at his mic flag. It looks like his kid made it.
That being said,
yeah.
You watched a legit interview happen the other day with a mic that people were holding, like with essentially a lav mic.
Yeah, I get that, but at least I don't know. It's just like sports. I mean, we're at the Super Bowl. Let's get a little bit on our credentials a little bit.
I admire anybody who's trying to, promote or push the sport of prank interviews.
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic.
Sure.
There's been some great ones over the years.
Sure.
There was years ago, there was a guy who got basically on like 3 or 4 morning shows as he wrote a book talking about like Thanksgiving leftovers and stuff.
Yeah.
And his whole thing was how to get the most out of your Thanksgiving leftovers. And on all these things, he went on and basically made horrific food. Like put all of it into a blender and then smear that onto like I
like that because that really tests, because it's like, because some people watch like these Today shows and all that and religiously with this stuff, and I'm like, does someone really vet some of this stuff out? Because some of these recipes I see them doing, and you ain't wrong. I'm like, who in their right mind wants to put that hot mess together? And so it's kind of funny that when you get people that, like the Captain Jenkses of our world, you have to be a certain age to know that. And so these are the next generation of the Captain Jenkses.
Good to know that the feeling's still there.
That's right. So I'm a fan for that too.
The
but
love
I'm
is
just
still
like
alive.
at the same time,
if you're going to do it right, first of all. And yeah, and I see where you're getting at with the whole credential thing. But that being said, it was probably more of like an open forum situation.
But here's the problem:
like a Comic-Con.
Maybe, but I don't think, even because of what the nature of what this event is and the nature of the world we live in, I don't think you can just roll up into anything and have that many of the players of the thing access in one building.
Well,
so I think the only people that are allowed into that thing are credentialed media to go and walk through here. This isn't a public event.
It could be, yeah.
And the only thing that makes me nervous is not because this guy got to get in and ask fart jokes. What happens when someone who wants to blow up something to get immediate, that's what I'm worried about. Like,
sure.
If this clown with his construction paper mic flag can get in with someone with some real nefarious intent, what's going to happen there? Maybe we should step up our credential giving and security a little bit on an event like this.
And the reason I'm thinking it could be like a fan event is because like they do the week before like WrestleMania, they'll roll through the city that they're in, Vegas in this case, and they open up this Fanatics is the name of the company that makes all their merch. and they opened a superstore.
Right.
Right. I can go and buy, exclusive merch and stuff that's only available at that place, and also meet, WWE superstars, whatever.
Sure.
And so it's sort of the similar thing with the NFL. I think that the week before the Super Bowl, they do like a fan. But
thing. It's not this thing.
Right.
This thing is
This
way
is just
different.
the media scrum.
Yeah, this is that deal where the radio stations are in there, and only people get in there is in and out credentials.
Well, and that's what it is. So basically, somebody who had a morning show
That probably is what
in like Akron, Ohio, who still's running Zoo Crew Radio, they're like, all right, guys, let's come up with it. It was the whole
Right.
guys. Let's come up with some funny questions to ask the boys.
But even those guys have a better mic flag than that
Oh,
dude.
I'm sure. That's true. Well, that's less to lean into the bit, though.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just some kid who's got a smartphone.
I appreciate the idea that they lost the mic flags in the mail. They ordered them off Temu, and dang it, got stuck on a shipping cargo.
Well, the thing that made
ship.
me laugh is it's sports on it.
It's not. I'm not going to be able to get it in time, but I had ordered a Philip DeFranco shirt that just says "sports" with an exclamation point.
Right.
I was really hoping I'd have it in time for the weekend.
It's like going in your kitchen and putting food on the wall. Food.
I need, to get food.
That's such great decoration. It spells food. It's for the kitchen. That's amazing. I like there's is it Progressive? Whatever one has the ghost like haunting the house while they're trying to sell the house.
Oh, I think that is Progressive's doing a lot of those.
But that one,
often.
there's the one where the goats and it says kitchen on the wall. There it goes, oh, kitchen. That's good. I didn't know where I was for a minute. Like that ghost is suddenly my hero. All right, let me give you the rundown.
It's good to know that the wit hasn't died yet.
Let me give you the rundown. I hope if I'm a ghost, I'm just as smart alecky.
Exactly.
We're going to replay an interview with Nook from Asian Market. She joined us earlier this week to chit-chat, and chit-chat we did. So we're going to play that for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview with Captain Mike Evans from the Salvation Army here in Roswell. Had a great conversation with him. And then Crystal Noble with the Humane Society will pop in for a visit in the 9 o'clock hour. Give us an update on what's happening at the Society Day Humane. And then we'll do all of your newses and all that good stuff and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next few days. We have a fairly strong high-pressure system over the area. We'll be in the upper 70s to low 80s, and we get lots of sunshine. Mid-30s to low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. 80 to 85 for the afternoon high on Friday. Windy and sunny. We'll be right around the 80-degree mark or a little bit over, and sunny through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 41%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today. Expect a high of 83 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 35 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, boy howdy, it's going to be warm. 85 for a high. I'm not complaining. I like it, but it's February. It ain't supposed to be 85. This is just not right. But it is what it is. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 42. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Then for the weekend, another warm day on Saturday, 82 and sunny. Winds will be out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Mostly clear Saturday night, overnight low of 35. For your Super Bowl Sunday, sunny skies, 69 for a high. And then I think we're going to have more proper February temps for next week because at least through the first half, 66 on Monday, 62 on Tuesday, and 57. Ooh, chilly on Wednesday. But don't worry. Tomorrow you'll have 85. But that's crazy. All right, let's see. It is 7:24. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with Nook from Asian Market. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles, or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Stock up your freezer with premium New Mexico grown beef cuts delivered straight to your door from Runyon Cattle Meats. Runyon Cattle Meats offers premium grass-fed, grain-finished beef in whole, halves, and quarters, along with special seasonings that perfectly complement the meat. Find mouth-watering recipes, cut lists, gift baskets, and more at RunyonCattleMeats.com. Order today by calling Runyon Cattle Meats at 575-760-5655 or online, RunyonCattleMeats.com.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
The 4-3A district season is underway for your NMMI Colt basketball team. This Friday night, the Tularosa Wildcats pay a visit to Roswell with their 15-5 overall record and their number 6 ranking in 3A boys basketball. Can the Colts knock off the Wildcats and improve their chance of getting into the state tournament? Find out Friday night at Cahoon Armory in Roswell. Attend in person or watch KSVPTV.com or KSVP TV on YouTube. NMMI Colt basketball. It's awesome.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio, Nook is back from Asian Market. Good morning, Nook.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you?
I'm back.
You're back? How's it? Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to the whole Roswell, too.
How was your holidays for your family and everything?
Yeah, the holiday we get to go out of town a little bit.
Little bit, good.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think Thomas was telling me you got another trip here later this year to back home, right?
No.
I thought he was telling me that. I thought like you were gonna maybe later this year going back to Thailand for a little
planning on about when the girls is off of school.
Okay.
About June, July, something like that.
Okay, so maybe this summer a trip.
Until the
good.
summer. But
that'll be nice.
It doesn't mean it's not written in a story.
Sure,
yet.
but that's
just
a plan.
Like
do you get back about once a year on average?
Trying to, but I didn't go back for how long? 2 years?
Well, COVID probably made it hard there for a little bit.
No, the COVID is.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't go back for COVID for 2 or 3 years.
But that's kind of for folks that have been listening. You know, Nook's been on the show for years here, and it seems about every year you'll go back to, but then you come back with new stuff. Like you'll go to Thailand and you'll go shop in the markets or go hit the various places and come back with new ideas and new things for the market and for the restaurant.
Sometimes, not every time. Sometimes my head was just blank.
Yeah, but usually you kind of get inspired when you're out there. So it's kind of neat when you come back because we get to see some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as right now, how's the market? How's the restaurant? How are things going right now?
It's good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Busy.
It's good. busy. Yeah, restaurant busy, store busy, and in the store part, we're going to have expect to have 4 more pallet in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be here on this Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of new product.
Good deal. Well, that'll be nice.
A lot of Hello Kitty stuff,
Ooh,
cute
okay.
stuff, something like
And that's
that.
pretty popular, isn't it?
Yeah,
The Hello
and
Kitty
a lot
probably.
of new drink. The new drink is coming too.
I didn't realize how big Hello Kitty was until this was about 8 years ago.
I'm not much on the pink Hello Kitty thing, though.
But I
it's
remember.
a good sale, you know.
But I remember about 8 years ago, I went to Albuquerque,
Mhm.
and I was up there just like everyone else, going shopping, eating, going to Albuquerque. And I remember going to Uptown, where they have the Apple store and where they got kind of some of the high end stores.
I don't
there.
know.
It's in Uptown Albuquerque there, but if you know Albuquerque. But when I was there, they had for that Saturday a Hello Kitty trailer, and they were selling Hello Kitty stuff. I guess like food and clothing, and it was the official Hello Kitty. I guess it was on tour, and there was a line around the entire shopping center.
Oh no way!
to
That's
get
not me.
Hello Kitty stuff, and I could not believe. I was at the Apple store trying to get an iPad or something, and usually that place is always
Right?
nuts.
Uh-huh.
It was ghost town, and there I walked up because everyone's in the Hello Kitty line getting their Hello Kitty stuff, and I didn't realize how big.
I don't have a big patience on stand in line to go get some.
No, me
something.
either.
Oh,
There's
no.
nothing on earth that's that important to me
It's just
that I
kinda
want.
grab and go.
Yeah, there's
and do something else.
Yeah, I don't
you
need
know?
it. If I had to wait that
No.
long, I don't need it that bad. But
No.
but good news is you don't have to wait in line. You've got some Hello Kitty stuff
Yes, sir.
coming in here later this week. It looks
Yes,
like.
I do.
And that's the thing I always like to tell people is it's a unique experience every time to go to Asia. I mean, you have your staples if you're looking for your soy sauce or your certain
yeah,
thing.
we got everything same.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a new product in too.
Yeah. But
So,
you can go, but like if you go like into the meat case and see the seafood, you'll see some different stuff there from
Yeah.
time to time. Or you go down like the ramen aisle, you'll see new things. Or they like in the sweets and candy aisle, you'll see different. Almost every time you go down that aisle, there's different sweets and treats each time you go in for a different visit. So you kind of got to check back often and check. And then of course, same with your teas and juices. You got the case with all the different teas and juices. I mean, you'll have your staples in there, but there's always new stuff in there from time to time.
Yes,
a different
it is.
drink or a different something
thing,
that.
new knick-knack,
Yeah.
new snack.
Yeah.
Especially this lot gonna be a lot of new thing, new that we never had before.
Yeah, and that's cool. And the other cool part I like about it is like say you go to the restaurant because that's if you've never been, Asian Market is the front part of the store.
Yes.
The back part is delicious Asian cuisine. Kind of a fusion, Thai, Chinese. It's a little bit of mix of
A little bit
little
of
mix
a
of
thing.
all
yeah,
Asian.
a little
It's
bit
not,
of something.
not just
Uh-huh.
Thai or just
Yeah.
Chinese or
No,
just
it's not.
something. It's a little fusion.
A little thing
Yeah.
that you need to come and check out.
But here's
at
the cool
Asian
part.
market.
Like you can go there and try like these recipes, and then you're like, man, that was really good. And then if you want to try it at home, you can usually buy the equipment. Like if you need
Yes, you can.
the rice cooker, or if you get
Right.
like a sushi, you want to roll sushi. All of that equipment is at Asian Market too. So if you want to make your own sticky rice or make your own Asian dishes, it's a lot easier when you have the equipment that they use, the woks and the proper utensils and oils and things to do that. And so all of that's at Asian Market. And
Yep.
so you can go and eat and get inspired, and then shop the market and say, you know what, I'm going to make me some General Tso's chicken one night. And
It's kind of hard though.
I would say that-
I'm not going to give you a suggestion
I'm
to
gonna-
make a General Tso sauce.
I'm gonna
because
warn you.
There's so many ingredients in there.
And that's
So
what I was going to warn you. You're going to try to
better
do it
just
at home.
Try to eat with
Nook's
my-
going to make it better.
Yeah.
But I get it. You're going to want to
It
try
hard.
it.
It hard.
And please try. But because
Yeah.
that's a good thing. You never know. Maybe you make your own version. Maybe you stumble upon it and you're like, I like my version. You know, that's the beauty of cooking. Is you
Right.
get to make it kind of your way a little bit. But either way, if you get inspired by Nook's dishes, then you can kind of try to recreate them or make your own version
Yes,
at the
sir.
market there. And come. And here's another thing I always tell people: if you've got like Super Bowl parties and things, Nook will cater events. You give her some head time. Don't go rolling in
Just
Sunday
call me.
morning and
Call
saying
me.
I need a big old tray of fried rice. She's gonna
if
get
you just
mad
pop
at you.
in and you want a tray of fried rice, I might say no.
She might get mad at you. But
yeah,
if you
I
say,
might be mad.
But if you call her today and say, "Hey, can I come in on Sunday and pick up a tray of fried rice?"
Right.
We can make that happen.
Yes. Yes. Give me some time.
Yeah. So
and a prep, some prepare.
yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, because you get I've got to ask because now we're starting to get warmer. What about soups and stuff? You know me and my soups.
Yes, I do soup every day.
Yes, you do different. Do you still do the? It was with the pork and the red.
Yes.
That's a 10. That's soup.
Yes, I do that. We do soup every day now.
Okay.
So.
But I know you do different. I just didn't know like how you change. Are they different ones?
No.
Or you stick with
I'm gonna stick with the same for now.
because you're kind of like what's your go-tos? You have the and I don't remember the names of it. One has got the pork, and it's a red.
It's a barbecue red pork.
Yeah,
in
that
there,
one's a
and
delicious
then
one.
It's got wonton.
You have a wonton soup too. I was like
Yes.
trying to think. It's not egg drop. It's wonton that you.
We got egg drop. We got wonton. We got egg noodle.
Yeah.
That have a red pork and then wonton.
But if you want something a little different, try the red pork one. It is.
It's egg noodle. Egg noodle are number 20.
To me, it's my favorite because it's a little sweet, it's a little heat.
Yes.
It's just the right amalgamation of everything. It kind of, like if you had the ingredients separately, it's kind of but when you put it all together in that thing that way,
you will like it.
It works. You know what I mean?
You
And
like
that's why
it.
I like that. And so I highly recommend if you're a soup person, try that.
Yes.
But, and here's another thing for all you spicy folks. Nook can make it as mild as you want if you're not into the
I
heat.
don't know what does mild mean.
But you know what I mean. You can make it. You can
know
make it.
only okay, spicy. It means spicy.
You can make it so it's kind of plain.
Yes.
Suppose. But conversely, you always get those people that it's never hot enough.
You know what? I got
I'm going to
customer.
argue. I think Nook can get you hot enough. I think you
got
could do it.
customer that come in and they said, can you tell Nook to make it mild? She doesn't know what mild mean. All
Right.
she do is just so spicy.
Yeah.
So
It's like it's hot or less hot.
yeah, let's just do that. You want to do it spicy?
But
You don't want to do it
but
spicy?
I know because I know there's always a few people out there that they just love the hotter the better.
Yes,
the hotter the better.
I have customer like that. They just
and
bring it.
And if you're one of those individuals, Nook will satisfy you. I'm
Yes,
telling you,
I can do it.
You're gonna leave there and you're going to leave there with your sweat. You're gonna whatever
And then you're gonna
whatever
pay back next
masochistic
day.
thing you're into. That's what you're gonna achieve by doing.
Next day you're gonna pay back after that.
Because you're gonna be back for more. Yeah. And then you could do it with any of your dishes. So if you like
Yeah.
fried rice, if you want to go with lo mein dish or a salad or
No,
a soup,
I don't do lo mein.
you don't heat up the lo mein.
No, sir.
No, or
I don't do lo mein.
or chow mein. Which is the
I
name?
do chow mein.
It's the noodles. I always get the
Yes.
noodles mixed up. Whether it's noodles or rice, I always get the names mixed up.
So I do a chow mein and I do some pad thai
Okay.
on the noodle thing.
So let me because I'm the dummy.
Okay.
I look at chow mein noodles, lo mein noodles. What's the difference?
Don't ask me.
Okay.
To me, it's just the same.
I didn't know if it was
It's
a size
noodle.
thing or is
I
it
think
made from a
so.
different-
I think so because it's the size.
Because like if you look at like Italian pasta noodles, they'll have like spaghetti, thin spaghetti, linguine, and it gets confusing. I didn't know. So it's basically just like a thinner noodle. You
to
think?
me, it's basically it's the same. It's just
Okay.
the size of them are different.
Okay, I just didn't know. Like, I got to go look it up on Google. Like, is chow mein a thicker noodle versus a lo mein, or vice versa?
Right.
Or, you know,
Right.
interesting. I just didn't know. I didn't know if it was just prepared differently, or maybe
I don't know.
if it was maybe it's a different. They don't use wheat or whatever they use to make the pasta.
Some of them probably do. Kind of like what is it made from?
Yeah, because a lot of pasta is made from rice, not necessarily flour,
like in my
right?
store, I will have the noodle is made from rice.
Yeah.
Made from wheat, and then it's made from another kind of flour.
Yeah, and that's where like
So-
Italian generally is wheat based.
right.
Whereas Asian will get into rice, it'll get
Uh-huh.
into other ingredients to make the noodle.
Mhm.
So I'm just kind of curious. Maybe it's just that. But I don't.
I don't
all I
know.
know, it's all delicious.
I don't know.
You can call it a blanket noodle. I don't care. I'll eat it. Whatever you want to call it, I'll eat it. But it's good stuff. And so I invite you to do. And that's and if you've never been to Asian market, you're missing out. It really is a cool experience. If you've never been there, it's on the south end. If you
Yes.
go, just head south like you're heading towards the airport or
Head
the
to
college.
the airport. I will be on your right-hand side
Yeah.
before you reach to the
Look
airport.
for the blue signs. Says
yes,
Asian Market.
The big blue sign right
Yeah.
there.
And of course, then over the last couple years, you've added more seating, so you've got plenty of seating there
Yes,
for folks
yes.
to enjoy lunch or dinner while you're
Mhm.
there. And I highly recommend give it a try. Go out of your comfort zone with some stuff and just let Nook
Go
say, hey, what do you
in
recommend?
and then place an order and then shop.
Yeah, and then
while
shop.
You're
That's,
waiting.
that's the
Shopping.
move. Is you get your order in, and then
Yeah.
while your order's cooking,
Yep.
walk around and check out, and you'll be like, ooh, I didn't.
You might find something that you want. You might find something you want to try.
Sure.
Some new thing you might not never see. And
That's
you can
the thing.
find it there.
You get to you get to see things that are unique, and here's the thing too, is sometimes you experience things that are not part of your culture that seems very weird, but once I'm all saying is give it a try, and you may not like for instance, I was at Costco I went home over Christmas to visit my family in Virginia, Maryland area. And so they did a Costco run while they were there going to Costco. And while I was in Costco, I found this big bag of quail eggs.
Quail?
Yeah, and they're single serve. You eat them like a snack, like a.
You know what? My daughter loved it. My daughter loved quail egg.
Everyone was grossed out by it. And I was like, I kind of want to try, and I brought it home. And you know what?
It's just a mini egg.
You know what? I eat them like they're sitting in a backpack here. Every once in a while, I'll grab a handful and eat them. They're good. They're just a
You
hard-boiled
boil
egg.
them. Yeah, you bought them.
But
it's just
these are
small
ready to
size.
eat and everything. They're really just like a snack. You put they're each one's individually sealed and they're ready to eat.
I never
And
see that.
I'll show you before you leave. I think they're back there.
Okay.
I love them. I if I'm hungry and I'm sitting here and there's nothing in it, I'll literally grab 2 or 3 of those, walk back to my desk and eat them.
It's just more work though. It's just more
A little
work.
bit.
It compared with a chicken egg thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just so tiny.
But most people would never look at it because they got a certain mindset about it. Ooh, an egg, that's great. But I'm telling you, you eat it, you're like, this is actually pretty good. And that's why I think Asian market's got a lot of things that you're like, that looks weird.
Have you tried the what is that? The peacock? Peacock egg?
No,
Or-
I am not. I would love. I'm very novice in my egg world. I've had these quail eggs. I've had chicken eggs. And I think that's about it. I don't think
year-
I've had any other eggs.
One year, one of our friends brought me. It's about size of my feet, or bigger than my feet.
Okay.
I said, "What is that?"
And that
he,
was,
he said, "It's the peacock."
A peacock egg, huh?
Yeah.
Did you eat it?
Yes.
Was it good?
It's the same.
Tastes like egg?
Yeah, just the egg, just
Like-
the size bigger.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw it on TV one time, and it's kind of a bucket list thing. Some guy cooked an ostrich egg,
Ostrich.
and one of those eggs is like a dozen eggs.
Yeah. They're huge. They're huge. It's very big.
I kind of want to eat an ostrich egg just to try that experience.
I don't know. That's
I
very
mean, I might need a
low.
friend to help because that's a lot of egg, but
I kind of want to keep the shell.
I do.
How about it?
I
When
want to
you-
cook
when
it. I
you
really
fry
want to
one-
crack it and put it like a Flintstone-esque pan and crack it. I want to do that.
When you fry one, okay, you eat the egg. I will keep the shell.
All right,
How's
I'll
that?
save the shell.
You
Try to
save
crack
the shell
it.
for
I'll
me.
try to crack it so it's preservable.
Yes.
But I kind of want to cook like you would an
It's
egg.
gonna be
just one
wow.
big, just sitting there with a big old frying pan flipping it.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I never tried it yet, so
I think it'd be good. It'd be good.
I don't know.
But what's I gotta ask you what because I'm curious because where you're from, the foods that are normal to you that are your part of your being brought up are not the same with people that live here. So I gotta be curious. Is there like when you live here, is there foods that gross you out? I mean, not a particular restaurant, but like American like burgers, or is there certain foods that you're just grossed out by? That like how some people look at like some like these eggs or something like here and be like, oh my god, what American foods make you do that? I'm curious.
You know what? Not really though. Not such a thing. But it's kind of like I'm a little bit picky on whatever I eat. So
You're
I'm
a tiny person, so I don't think you eat a lot.
I eat a lot.
You're tiny. I don't know where you put it, but
Hey, I've been eat all day. Yes, I don't have time to sit down eat like another.
Right.
Like
You're
people.
burning it is because you're always walking and moving. So
run and eat.
So
and
it's,
then have
it's kind of like going
all the time.
going in and going out. You're burning as fast as you eat.
Yeah.
So.
I don't eat fried food. So
Nothing fried?
I can't say I don't. I don't. I'm not much on the fried food.
Okay. What about like pot stickers and stuff like that, where you kind of fry those? Do you eat those?
I not either.
Mm-hmm.
But we have this in rice field crab. That's where
okay.
Yeah, rice field crab do the same thing.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Tasty, right?
They try to
are they
the ocean.
Are they bigger or are they smaller?
No, they're small.
Yeah, I think Maryland crabs are only about this big. They're not like the big Dungeness ones. These are about a little bigger in your hand, maybe. You know.
A rice field crab is about an inch, not if.
So
it's
they're
a female.
tiny. They're like crawfish size almost.
The female is about an inch.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the male is about an inch and a half, or maybe
Maryland
2.
crabs are probably about 6-8 inches.
Oh, that's still big.
Yeah, you put it this way: if you eat them like by themselves, just roast them. Usually it's going to take about a dozen to get full.
In a rice field crab, you probably take a lot to get full.
But it's an all-night thing. Like you eat the crab. And it's usually like a social thing. Like they'll put the paper down and they'll pour the crabs and they'll have some pitchers of beer. And you'll literally be there for 6 hours eating crab and just socializing. It's more of an event.
Now, over there, rice field crab, what we do is we make boiling them and make some dip or make some paste out of it.
Yeah. A lot of times they'll do the boil with it. Like they'll boil corn and potatoes.
We boil different.
But me, I just put the crab in there and that's all I need. I don't need no potatoes or crab or corn.
No,
I'm here to eat crab.
The rice field crab, what we do is boil to me, not obey, not corn, not anything. Boil is kind of make some soup. Add some vegetable, add some chili, add some spice.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Now,
with
Old
the
Bay,
rice field.
You mentioned Old Bay. That's where I'm from. Old Bay seasoning. That's Maryland. That's where that comes from. That is that's the mecca for Old Bay seasoning is Maryland. That's
now
what we do.
Know.
That's our thing is Maryland. They're all about the crabs. It's Maryland blue crab. That's
when you make some boiled crab over there, you're gonna have to put it on the newspaper, right?
Yeah, they what they do is they steam them. And you steam them live.
Okay.
And then they'll usually in the steam is when they put the Old Bay or whatever like Old Bay is like the generic version. If you get to like these old crabbers that been making crabs for 100 years, they got their own special recipes. They're kind of like Old Bay, but they're slightly different. Or
I think they add some more spice.
Yeah, there's a few things. Everyone's got their twist.
Yeah.
On their secret recipe, and literally, especially in the summer months, May, June, July. There's roadside crab stands. You literally be driving up on the highway. There's a guy set up with a trailer with bushels of crabs.
That's fun.
And you can buy a bushel of crabs right there. And depending on season, it could be.
They're still alive, still moving.
Oh, yeah, they're still alive in there. Yeah. Now, sometimes they'll sell some pre-cooked ones because people don't like to go home and cook them, but you can buy a bushel of cooked crabs. But the best way to do it,
fun is more
it's better to get them live and cook them right there on the because those have been cooked a couple days ago and they're not. I mean, they're gonna taste good, but they're not like the fresh man. It's just different.
The one that's still alive, still moving. When you cook, you still it tastes way better.
And then the faux pas is you don't eat the females. You put the females back. You only eat the males. So if you get a female crab, you're supposed to throw it back.
Okay.
And because that's for the population.
Right.
They always, there are people that do catch females and eat them, but generally in Maryland and the crabbing world, we look at those people as like losers. We're like, you're screwing up the population by doing that.
Right.
And it's pretty easy to tell a male crab from a female crab.
Yeah, it is easy.
Just look at the breastplate. There's a little shape on it.
The female will be round in by the tummy.
Yeah, and the male's
will
is
be,
more pointed. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you know.
The same thing.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
Same thing. Yeah. And so it's kind of the rule is you catch the males, eat the males. If you catch a female, you throw it back. That's kind of. But I have seen females in a crab thing and have eaten them before. But generally speaking, you avoid them.
Well, over there we not though. Right field crab, we just whatever we catch.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's such an industry there. The Chesapeake Bay, in the Potomac River, that's their livelihood. Because those crabs will live in what's called brackish water, which is kind of salt, kind of fresh. It's a mix of.
Still a lot over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's there.
You know what? Right field crab in my country, I can say it.
Yeah.
We don't have much lately.
Yeah.
We can't find much.
Yeah, there it's thriving. It's they have two big industries: crab and oysters. That's the two things they.
Oh, oyster.
Yeah, that big oyster area too. We do oysters. Yep.
So yummy.
I love oysters except raw.
I do raw.
I'll eat them any other way. Steam them. I just can't do raw. I'll do them any other way.
It's just so yummy, just with the shell, that.
If you steam them and eat them.
But I don't eat with the butter though. I don't eat the I eat with my spicy sauce.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of usually what most people put.
Yeah, it's gonna be lime, chili.
You get some hot sauce.
And
most people around here they'll put a hot sauce on it.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
Now, in all fairness, I haven't done it recently, but last time I did it was a teenager, and to me it was just gross.
No,
but maybe I need to retry it as an adult, where I'm a little bit older. But
try.
I do like oysters and if you just steam them just to open the shell, I eat them that way. So I like them that way. It's just when they're warm, it's the cold. I don't know. I like them fried. I like them any other way except for raw.
I don't. Okay, we are so opposite.
Yeah.
I like it raw.
Yeah.
I don't like.
You don't like them cooked at all?
No. Oyster have to be raw for me.
What about like clams and all that too?
You know what? I did not know that another clam. We went to Florida. Went to what is that thing?
Do you have conch?
No.
In Florida, that's big. Conch is big there.
No, we went to some seafood.
Okay.
Seafood buffet.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of them. Anyway, so they put one raw clam on it. Kind of like, if they put it here, that means I can eat it. That's what I think.
That's what you figure, yeah.
Yeah. So I just grab him and try it one first bite. Oh my God! Surprised me.
Was it good or gross?
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
I've had
Sweet.
it. Like, that's what I'm saying. I probably need to try oyster again as an adult. I'm just still because I did it as a younger teenager. And you know how you're a kid, you're a little
and then another thing I think you can do raw is the scallop.
I've never had a raw scallop. But I guess you could. I mean, if you fish and all that, why not? I prefer those cooked, but they're,
I never tried.
I've never had a raw scallop.
Never
now,
tried.
I will tell you this. Like squid, I love it cooked. Do not like it raw.
Squid, I love it cooked too.
Same with octopus. I liked it cooked. Did not like it raw. I tried it.
It have to be cooked right too.
Yeah.
But you overcook, then it will be tough.
Yeah.
It have to be just right.
And when I had the octopus, it was served like a steak. Like it was kind of like you had to cut it up like a. Yeah, well, it was some of the tentacle and some of the body.
The whole thing.
But you ate it like a steak. You had to cut it.
The tentacle is the best part, you know?
I liked it because the suction cups, like, they taste good, but it's a little different mouthfeel. Like, you're like, it's like eating like a little O-ring or something. It's kind of like when you get like a little.
I like the tentacle.
I do too. I tasted it. It was good.
You know,
if you get past the look.
Marinate it and then put on the grill.
Pretend you're eating a kraken. If you feel like a man, I'm eating a kraken. Put that tentacle out your mouth. Release the kraken in my belly. You know,
it's
that.
good.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time. I just saw that here.
Oh, no way.
We want to invite people. Come have lunch today at Asian Market, or come have dinner today, or if today's no good, come by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But come have a meal at Asian Market. Come do some shopping. If you've got a Super Bowl gathering and need some help, get with Nook today. Don't wait till Saturday or Sunday.
Because
get with
I'm
her
not going to
today.
cook for you.
But she'll do it today, and she'll get you good and ready. And if you want to be the hit at your Super Bowl party, maybe reach out and maybe get maybe it's some General Tso's chicken or some fried rice or whatever.
Just give me a hand of time.
Yeah, and she'll get you a whole big tray of it. And
well, before we go, I'm gonna have to leave my phone number here.
Yes, please do.
575-840-5309 still.
That's right. Still the numbers. You got it. You got it. Dun, dun, dun,
And by the way, store and the restaurant will be open. Store open 10 to 6.
Yes.
And the restaurant is 11 to the last order is 5:30.
There you go. So get your last orders in at 5:30.
Yes, last order is 5:30.
Are you still on like Grubhub or one of those?
No.
You're off all those.
No,
right?
I'm off.
Just so you come on in.
No, I just want people to come see me.
Come and sit down and eat.
Hi.
Come and enjoy a meal.
Yeah.
But if you're busy, come in and take it to go.
Exactly.
And we'll get you.
Call in and order, and then we will give you a time or something like that, and then so you can come pick it up.
I say this every time, and I'll say it one more time before we go. Every time I eat at Nook's, it's kind of like, to me, it's like I would, like if I went to Thailand and had a meal at some family's home. That's what I feel like you're getting at Asian Market, where you go to other Chinese restaurants or Asian restaurants, and it's a restaurant, and you get that certain thing. Like I imagine, like eating your food is like if I went to
when I
some
go
family
to
from
Thailand,
Thailand and eat there. Yeah.
When I go to Thailand, I'm not cook.
Right, you're eating. You got your family cooking.
Yeah, I got family. I got the street food.
Yeah.
That just walk by and
So,
then
like
grab
to me,
it.
it's like the most home style of Asian cuisine you're going to find. You know, and so I invite you to come down for lunch today, or come down for dinner, or whatever, and give it a try. Call ahead and get an order, pick up, and you can grab it on your way to work or wherever you're going there too.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Well, Nook, I'm sure you got a load of things waiting for you at the restaurant waiting on you. So thank you as always for visiting.
No problem.
And we'll see you here hopefully sooner, not later.
Probably in the next couple weeks.
All right, we'll do it.
So when we got some new in, then I will bring it up.
Oh yeah, I love when you bring food.
Yeah, I see that. But you have to go get it.
I will never deny you bringing food.
You cannot just wait for me to bring it here.
I know.
You have to
I
go
do go
get
it, but it's real nice when it's there already. So, thank you, Nook, as always, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. And
Yes, sir.
have fun and
you.
have a great week.
You too.
All right, it is 9:58. We're going to pause for a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go.
Of Chavez County, who were impacted by the October floods. Residents can place flood debris curbside for pickup beginning February 9th through the end of February. Residents are asked to separate the debris into several categories, including electronics, large appliances, vegetative debris, and construction debris. Curbside debris must be free of overhead obstructions, maintain an 8-foot clear radius surrounding the debris, and should not obstruct any right-of-way. Residents do not need to call to schedule the debris removal. The removals will begin in the 2 quadrants north of US 380 and move south into Midway and Dexter. Do you have what it takes? A free police and fire fit test is being offered on February 22nd in Roswell. The event runs from 8 to noon at the Lewis Jones Training Center. It's geared toward folks who might be interested in starting a career with Roswell Police or Fire. If you do attend, you must wear closed-toe shoes and bring long pants for the RFD challenge. Participants must be at least 18 with a high school diploma or GED. On-site applications will be there. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Here's some more basketball scores from the earlier this week. We're going to catch up with you real quick. The Goddard boys knocked off Lovington by a score of 59-49. So they're now 1-1 in district. They'll be playing at Artesia Friday night at 7, part of a girls-boys doubleheader. Also on Tuesday, Dexter fell big to Tularosa, 74-29. The Demons will try to rebound against Ruidoso Friday night. NMMI knocked off Ruidoso on Tuesday, 55-46. The Colts are 12-9 overall, 1-0 in district. They'll host Tularosa Friday at 6:30. Meanwhile, on Monday night, it was Hagerman beating Dow 54-48. The Bobcats 12-5 in boys hoops, 3-1 in district. They'll host Eunice. Should be a good game Friday night at 7:30. Eunice is 15-5. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Attention Roswell, the all-new Roswell Ford is back and open for business for service, parts, and sales at our dealership at 821 North Main Street. Our goal for 2025 is to make buying a new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicle super fun, super fast, and super easy. In fact, we'll give you the price we give to a friend or family member right up front. Bring us any trade in any condition. Don't even wash it. At Roswell Ford, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? We can help. We'll take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with even more aggressive lenders, all with great rates and terms for good credit, no credit, and even bad credit, with rates as low as 0% APR. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Huge savings, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance, plus tax, title, and license with approved credit.
Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
.com. I'm Rich Thomason. After being targeted by 2 would-be assassins, including in Pennsylvania, where he was actually grazed by a bullet, President Trump says he's a different man.
You know, honestly, it changed something in me. I feel even stronger. I believed in God, but I feel much more strongly about it. Something happened. So, thank you.
Mr. Trump at this morning's National Prayer Breakfast at the U.S. Capitol. Attorney General Pam Bondi wasting no time getting down to work. Among her first actions, cutting sanctuary city funds. She's also ordering an investigation of anti-Trump lawfare and is coordinating with Homeland Security in a war on drug cartels. President Trump has signed an executive order bans biological males from competing against women and girls in sports. Texas GOP Congresswoman Monica De La Cruz says it is a good move.
I will always fight for little girls across the nation to make sure that they do not have to have their dreams of playing sports squashed by men playing in their sports.
Any school allowing men to compete against women or use their locker rooms will lose federal Title IX funding. Today's the deadline for eligible federal workers to accept the Trump administration's offer of a buyout. Across more than a dozen states in the Midwest to the Northeast, ice, a big concern this morning. Ice and in some cases snow, making for hazardous conditions on the roads and sidewalks. There's also the potential for damage to trees and power lines. Applications for jobless benefits rose 11,000, hitting 219,000 last week. That's about 6,000 more applications than analysts had been expecting. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 6 points, the Nasdaq trading 27 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
It looks like China's formal complaint about U.S. tariffs will gain little traction in the World Trade Organization.
It is likely to be a sort of symbolic act because the appellate body has been frozen because the U.S. blocked judges being appointed to that body. Now, without enough judges, they can't sit and they can't enforce the rules. Even if they had enough judges, this would likely take years. And so what is probably going to happen is before some sort of decision is made at the WTO, we're likely to see some talks between China and the US.
The BBC's Stephen McDonald. Iran has inaugurated its first drone carrier warship, saying the vessel is capable of operating in oceans far from its mainland. A report by the official Iranian news agency says the warship, manned by the Revolutionary Guard's Navy, can carry several squadrons of drones as well as helicopters and cruise missiles. Townhall.com. It's another health scare for GOP Senator Mitch McConnell.
Media reports say McConnell fell twice on Wednesday. First as he was descending a small flight of stairs leaving the Senate chamber. Witnesses said the 82-year-old former GOP leader appeared to be unhurt and was helped to his feet by fellow Senators Mark Wayne Mullen and Steve Daines. He fell a second time a short time later during a lunch meeting in the nearby Mansfield room. It's the latest health scare for McConnell. He fell in December of last year and previously had several strange freezing episodes in which he appeared to have lost his train of thought. Bob Agnew reporting.
Desperate to block at least some of President Trump's nominees, Senate Democrats spent the night filibustering the nomination of Russell Vought to head up the Office of Management and Budget. Democrats using words like extreme and radical to describe Vought. He has championed cuts in government spending. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Hope your Thursday's going just fine and dandy.
The penultimate day of your work week.
Yeah, a little crisp out there this morning. But
feels better than it did last hour, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Not coming in here all shivery.
Yeah, but we are supposed to hit the 83s today.
Yeah. I felt like it was a nice long sleeve t-shirt kind of day. I've been rocking the shorts for the last couple of days. I feel like I was pushing it a little in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice in the midday and afternoon, but boy, is it cold in the morning.
Yeah. The only thing is, it's now today's not bad, but like the last few days, it's just been unbearably hot in this office. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not wearing any longer.
It's Pants Off Thursday this afternoon.
Right. About 2:30 in the afternoon. I look like a little sumo wrestler sitting in here.
This is why we need to bring back zip-away clothing.
Oh, yeah.
There was a whole generation of people that could choose to wear pants in the morning and shorts. And it was the mullet of jeans or of pants.
Yeah.
You know, long pants in the morning, and then in the afternoon when it gets a little muggy.
I lived in the era where you could zip off pretty much anything.
And there was also that group of that sect of people that would zip the leg and then leave it on the, like at your ankle.
Yeah. See, I've hit them all because I had.
Yeah, and then you hit them all. Exactly.
So when the zip off sleeve vest combo thing was a thing, I had those things in that time. The pants,
the tearaway pant,
and I will add one other. The high top sneaker. There was a zip off, make them low tops.
I remember those. Yeah, I do remember seeing those. The one thing that I've never understood, and several companies have made them.
Yeah.
What is the practicality outside of Party Boy and Jackass and the stripping industry? What is the practicality of tearaway pants? Like, is there ever a situation where you're a runner and you need to just break out of your pants all of a sudden?
Maybe in a sprint.
Doing a marathon. And
maybe if a bear's chasing you, you could rip the pants and blind them with the pants with a toss back.
Quick, toss your tearaway pants, Jim. Oh, I went with Jimmy. Okay. Yep. It's been pointed out to me that whenever I come up with scenarios, it's always Jim.
Slip a Bob in there.
You know what? I've been trying to.
You hear that, Jim? He's coming for you.
Yep. I don't know where you are, Jim, but I will find you.
There's all these Jims in his life. What did I do to you, Sean? This weekend. Hey, Jim, why are you mad at me?
Every Jim I know is actually a pretty genuine dude, honestly. I don't know why I always put Jim through this horrific nonsense.
He looks at one. We call you James. Shut up.
What's funny about that is my friend's stepdaughter Allie's boyfriend's name is James, and every time I see him, I call him Jim.
Jim. Well, that's the
Just to be
nickname.
formal.
Yeah.
So
My dad was James. His nickname's Jim.
Jim.
Usually people that are James are fine with Jim. Usually not too cool with Jimmy.
Yeah.
If you slip him a Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy feels. I think a lot of this maybe comes from Better Call Saul, but Jimmy feels kind of slimy.
Slipping Jimmy.
Yeah, slipping Jimmy.
See, I had an Uncle Jimmy, but
Yeah.
that's how we eliminated because. But Jimmy was always Jimmy, like even before because my dad being Jim, but even before Dad was around, Jimmy was still Jimmy. And even when Jim came in, it just worked, and there was Jimmy and Jim.
Jiminy, yep.
But Jimmy, and I also, you're expected a certain personality with a Jimmy versus a Jim.
Yeah.
You can't be a serious person and like be taken seriously and then be called Jimmy. It just doesn't. Jim, fine. James, the one seed.
That being said, there is one exception. Jimmy Carter. You can't think about him as James Carter.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever called him Jim Carter.
But even still, of all, I mean, regardless of your politics, when you think of Jimmy Carter, at least me and the way I grew up, you kind of think of him as like everybody's dad.
Yeah.
Even though, politically, whatever, you agree, disagree, but
you don't think
at
about
the
him
end
as
of the
like
day, he was like.
You don't think about him as like shifty. You know what I'm saying? Like a Jimmy.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah,
a Jimmy
they look
would
at
be.
him as more of a dad.
Stable. Yeah.
It's so but even still, it's not a serious note. Like, granted, he's the president, most serious job on the planet.
Right.
But at the end of the day, people don't look at Jimmy Carter like they look at Kennedy or they look at Trump, for that matter. You know what I mean? It's just people say a certain thing about them, but Jimmy Carter's like, oh, I didn't agree with him, but say what you will, he's a good human being.
Yeah, he was a statesman.
Yeah.
He was a
but he gave off an aura of approachability versus
like a Reagan.
Well, it's like people are in awe. Like, and there's certain people at the head, they give off the aura like, ooh, I blinded by their light. And then there's other people that are in awe of, but it's a different
But
kind.
it's more of like I respect you.
I can go up and
I
give you a hug kind of awe kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a Jesus type.
He's more approachable. And I would give you that. That's sort of the why sort of made him more of a...
I feel like in the big overall personas of things, he has much more of that.
And that's why I usually use my shorthand, name so the people, know it's my nickname, Sean, versus the long form Jonathan.
Let's go by C.
C.
Hey, C. Hey, I'm C.
I prefer N.
Well, and it's like with me and Mike and Michael and Mikey. I don't like get viscerally mad when people call me Mikey.
Right.
But in the big scope of things, that's not my favorite name to be called. And as a kid, I hated it because I always looked as there's Mikey in the stupid Life cereal commercials. And it made me mad. Now as an adult, I mean, and the only people call me Mikey are, nobody. I mean,
only if you want to get a swift punch to the chest.
The only time I get it is like, hey, Mikey, what's up,
Mikey?
buddy? It's in that context.
You got to do it's really all about the way you say it.
Yeah.
Mikey.
Yeah.
You got to drag it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's in that term. Or
yeah.
And it's same with like the Michael. No one only my mother called me Michael. My Aunt Lori calls me Michael. And that's about it.
I think I heard somebody call you Michael the other day, and it hit the ear wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, why? No. But yeah, no, it's you just get used to. Yeah, you're just Mike.
Yeah, just Mike. That's usually what it go by. But
Mixmaster Mike.
But and the other person that I always did was Carl Lucas. He called me Michael. But that was a bit, and he did it. Michael, what are you doing? It was almost in that Knight Rider type. Michael, what are you doing here?
Michael.
He almost did it in the voice of Kit every time he did it. Michael. So I think that was more of a bit than a thing.
They did a Rick and Morty bit where I guess in this universe the parents of these two newscasters didn't realize they were conjoined twins, or that it was a conjoined twin. So they named one Michael, and the other one's name is Pikel.
Pikel.
Like they couldn't come up with a name, so it's Michael and Pikel.
What about Cycle?
What about Jim? Dang it!
And I've told you my high school nickname. I've told that story on the radio. And to be honest, that's what they called me in high school. Yeah, that was Mike.
And it was before the dodgeball movie, so it wasn't even as cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because of all. Yeah, it literally. It sounded like a basketball sprung a leak at high school graduation when I got my diploma.
That's
awesome. The whole.
A bunch of spray paint cans going off all at once.
Exactly. Let me give you a rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few short minutes. And then right thereafter, we're going to take a break, and then we'll play our interview we had with Captain Mike Evans from Salvation Army here in Roswell. We told the story. He's been here about 7 months, about the time everything kind of went to pot around here with the fires and the flooding and everything else. So he's kind of seen it all. So we have a great conversation with him. And then we'll get you up to date with the news and all that good stuff as well, too. But Voiced, your weather. It's like weird because it's like 80s all this week and then like 60s and 50s next week. Yeah. It's weird. Weird, man.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next few days. We have a fairly strong high-pressure system over the area. We'll be in the upper 70s to low 80s, and we get lots of sunshine. Mid-30s to low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. 80 to 85 for the afternoon high on Friday. Windy and sunny. We'll be right around the 80-degree mark or a little bit over, and sunny through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 43 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 32%. Winds are currently out of the north at 7 miles per hour. 83 and sunny for a high today. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight, looking at an overnight low of 35 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Sunny, 85 tomorrow. Tank tops, baby. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night. Looking at an overnight low of 42 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunny on Saturday. High of 82. West winds 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday for Super Bowl Sunday. Little cooler, 69. And then that kind of sets up for next week. 66 Monday. 62 on Tuesday. And 57 on Wednesday, all under mostly sunny skies, mostly to partly cloudy skies here next week. But we still got 85 tomorrow before we get 57 next Wednesday. All right, it is, let me get me back to my other page here. 17 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's take a quick commercial break and then our interview with Captain Mike Evans from the Salvation Army. Don't go away.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Who doesn't think the dentist is a big deal? I know what you're thinking. What will they find? How much will it hurt? What are my options? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher, and I am here to tell you that here at Carabelli Dental, it is our job to put you at ease. With options like sedation dentistry, you can rest assured that regardless of what dental work you might need, you can get it done while resting comfortably. Call our office now and speak to our knowledgeable staff about setting up your new patient appointment.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Space, the final frontier.
Hi, Captain. You can choose your space at Main Trailer Sales.
Fascinating. Don't cling on to that old camper. The logical choice. New Durangos, Montanas, Cougars, and Passports from Main Trailer Sales. They allow space and comfort. Boldly explore like never before.
Beam on board to that perfect camper.
Don't go camping without us. Live long and explore.
Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without us.
Attention Goddard Rocket fans. When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, raise your bar, keep dreaming, and go beyond the limits that you thought possible. The new 2024 Honda Ridgeline Passport and Pilot, part of the Roswell Honda Rugged Trail Sport lineup. Roswell Honda, proud supporter of all Goddard High School sports.
In the Bible, in the book of Hebrews chapter 11, the writer gives glimpses into the great faith of many of the Old Testament Bible characters. Some you've heard of, like Moses, David, and Noah, and some you may not have, like Enoch, Gideon, and Barak. These characters exhibited great faith, but what is also good to understand is that their stories also show their doubts and their failures. In the Bible, God doesn't sugarcoat the sins and missteps of those He chooses to use for great things. Over the next few weeks, we'll be studying some of those great characters. We will learn from their successes as they follow where God is leading them, but then we'll also learn from their failures. The biggest lesson we'll learn is that God can use us all, no matter where we are, no matter if we feel adequate or not, no matter what we have done in the past. God can and will use us for His glory because it isn't just about our strength. It's about God's perfect power and love. We just have to allow Him to use it.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, "No, I'm growing like a bamboo." Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back. And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning from our Salvation Army unit right here in Roswell, Captain Mike Evans with us this morning. Good morning, sir. How you doing today?
Good morning. Okay. Just haven't had my coffee yet. So.
All right. Well, we were, of course, Salvation Army's been pretty busy here in southeast New Mexico the last 6 months. It's kind of funny. We were joking, and Mike, you were saying you've been at the Roswell office since July. So literally right when the fire started in Rio. So then move on to the floodings. So you've pretty much seen the whole gambit of disaster in southeast New Mexico just in your 7 short months of being here.
Exactly. I was actually packing my house to move here when they called me and said the fire just broke out in Roswell. And they wanted me to come early. They want me to leave right then. I was like, look, I'm going to be there in a week.
Right. It's like...
let me finish moving my family, and then I'll take over.
Sure. But so you literally had to hit the ground running here with... so I got to... What's been this first 7 months? Because for folks, you're not new to Salvation Army. You're new to the route. You were in Las Cruces prior to this. So you've been New Mexico-fied. It's not like you're not new to New Mexico here. But I am curious, what's been this first 7-8 months... really hitting the ground running? I'm curious, has it been the busiest part of your career at Salvation Army, or has it just been...
To this point, yes.
I would imagine, it's just been the perfect storm, I guess, or the perfect cocktail of just a lot going on at one time here. And so I'm hoping you get a break now. Like, I'm thinking maybe we're going to get quiet down a little bit here maybe we're, as we get into summer months here and warmer weather, maybe you get to take a little break from...
Yeah, I'm not trying to jinx myself here.
But that being said, despite everything going on, Salvation Army's full going on, helping. I know, like you said, you do the breakfast for the homeless. I know, is it the second Saturday you do your pancake breakfast for the community to come? It's a fundraising event, but if you want a really, really good breakfast for very, very inexpensive, and it's all you can eat pancakes and everything, it's really... no better value for breakfast on a Saturday.
And it's not just pancakes. We have a whole omelet bar.
Oh, nice.
Where you can go up and you fill out a form of what all you want on it.
Nice.
And our cook, Mark, and Junior's usually the one that cooks with them. And they'll sit there and they'll make your omelets to order.
Yeah. And I'm about to say, you're probably not going to get a better deal on a Saturday morning in Roswell, New Mexico for breakfast.
No, all $10. And then all that money, the whole $10 goes right back into...
Goes helping families
to buy
and
the
people
food and stuff for the homeless.
Yeah. And that's really... And for folks, you guys are kind of that triage, wherever need is greatest, that's where Salvation Army, if it's a financial thing, we're going to get in there and do that. If it's, you kind of were, like natural disasters, FEMA and everybody's crawling all over this place with the flooding and all that, and they have their roles. Salvation Army, you guys are just the ones that, all right, where you need us, what's what we're doing. You need help here, we got that. People need money here, all right, let's get on that. You guys are really that
safety net,
stopgap, or the utility man on the baseball team that, we're down a third baseman, send in the Salvation Army. Oh, we need a shortstop, send in the Salvation Army.
And that's actually the way we're trained. When we're trained for our emergency response teams, we're trained that when we get into a location, we don't just get in there and say, look, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We get in there and we look and see what's going on. Okay, is the Red Cross, they're sheltering, and we got the Southern Baptist, they're feeding, and then we look to see what all is taking place, and then we look to see what's not being met.
Right.
And then we say, okay, nobody is taking care of donation management. We'll fill that role.
We're gonna jump on that one.
And then if nobody's doing housing, we'll join it. We'll jump into that role. If nobody's doing the feeding, we'll jump into that role. It depends on what role is needed.
And really, and that's kind of what kind of goes on when we just had a lot of these kind of things in the last 6 months. But in between all that, when we don't have floodings or fires, we just have garden variety days going on. You're helping people in need, whether it's the summertime and people need fans and things like that to cool down, or in the winter when heats are getting cut off and people need some financial assistance or some heaters, things. Salvation Army is always filling those voids, trying to meet those needs for, when you go shop at the thrift stores and things like that, it's to help people in need, but also at the same time, every time you're buying stuff there, you're supporting to make the next purchase to help the next family in need, whether it's to pay for electric bill or to get them food or shelter or something like that.
And that's what's amazing about the Salvation Army is all of us as an organization is nationally average 82 cents out of every dollar that's given to us stays right in that community.
That's why we want you to, every time you see those bell ringers out there during the holidays, dump as much change in those things as you can, because it all stays local and helps.
And it's actually twice the national average of charities of how much stays in the community.
Which is something you need to, and this is something I always like to tell people, like if you're picking charities and things and you pick them out, do your homework. Legit do your homework, and you'll see certain organizations, I'm not going to call ones out over another right now, but certain organizations, you donate $1, maybe 10 cents of it actually goes to where it's supposed to go, and 90 cents goes to pay overhead costs or staffing or marketing or some other thing that's not fixing the thing you're hoping to get your money to.
Yeah,
Salvation Army is different.
Yeah, if you go into our thrift store and you buy a $3 T-shirt, but $2.80 of that is going to Tom down the street whose family's about to be evicted, helps him stay in his home for another month.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. Yeah, it goes to literally, could be your neighbor, could be a person you go to church with, or a person you see at Walmart all the time. That's what we're talking about here. So I know we're not in that season, but please, when the bells come out here right after Thanksgiving and you start seeing the bell ringers at all the stores, say more than good morning or good afternoon to them. Drop $1 or $2 in that thing as well. Or if maybe, I know we do live in a world where no one carries cash anymore. Maybe do a digital donation.
Actually, when the stands come out, if they've noticed on the sign itself, I put a QR code.
So you can now do it digitally.
And they can now do it digitally through the QR code that's on the stand.
So, but if you're old like me and don't understand all that stuff, you can go online and do it.
Yeah, that's
it. Sometimes you're like, I don't know how to work my phone now. Can I just give you $5? But anyway, that's the great thing about is, and unfortunately, you guys have been really busy this last 7 months here with it, and all the day-to-day job, but it almost masks what your real day-to-day job, and it's really that day-to-day stuff of just people coming in need. Hey, I'm down on my luck. I'm new to town, and I need some help. Can you help me? Sure. Let's see what we can do to get you some resources here. That's the day-to-day job of Salvation Army. It's kind of evolved here over the last 6 months in our area here, just because of the triage needs and need to set up triage centers to address people's needs and all that stuff. So, but in the meantime, come out, mark your second Saturday of the month. Come have breakfast with us, or come to some of these events and or just come by for a visit and shop. I don't care what you say. If you're rich or poor, you like a good bargain on things. And if you go to the thrift store and you're booking, especially like if you have a kid going to college and you need like microwaves or coffee pots, don't go be buying them $200 Keurigs that they're going to break for the first semester. Go to the thrift store, get one for like $10.
That's the same thing as the $200
That's the exact same as the $200 one. And when they break it in November, you're not too salty about it. And by the way, that $10 has helped a family need in our community. So that's why I'm saying support the, even if you're not going to at least come shop, come do these things. And God forbid, if there's a day where your family's down and out, the Salvation Army will be there for you. And it's because of people like you that keep coming and having breakfast and coming and shopping for good bargains at the thrift store and all that good stuff. That's what keeps the Salvation Army going. That's what keeps allowing people to find comfort in some of their darkest times in their lives. And that's what Salvation Army does.
And also, if you have any items at your house that is not in use anymore, you give us a call. We have now also restarted doing pickups on Saturdays. Drive to your house, pick up the items, clean them up.
To make it even convenient.
Clean them up, put them out for sale, and help somebody in need with it.
And we are in that time of year where people start thinking, now that the weather's prematurely getting warm on us, people are going to start thinking about spring cleaning and things. And if you got some box fans or some appliances or some very good, useful stuff that could have a prior life that's just been sitting in a shed or a storage space at your home, donate it. And,
or if you upgrade that TV, if you upgrade that couch, give us a call. We'll take the other one away.
Yeah, when you got the latest in DLP, LLP, whatever technologies they put it for 47K, whatever that's up to. I think TVs are becoming the razor blades of the 90s. Now they keep adding Ks and different kinds of receptions. Kind of like in the 90s, like 6 blades, 7 blades. I think TVs are the new razor blades. So if you're upgrading to the 12th blade, give the 10th blade to the Salvation Army. If you're like that. And that's what I love is, and let me ask this, because I'm most people, is there a volunteer side? Like I know most people are like yourself. You're a member of the Salvation Army. You serve in that way. Is there a auxiliary or volunteer where I don't necessarily want to go through the whole Salvation Army process, but I'd love to help out the thrift store on a Saturday or something like that? Is there that kind of volunteer option, or do you have to be a Salvation Army member to help?
Oh yeah, we love as many volunteers as we can get. We have our food bank that does over 700 food boxes a month.
Gotcha.
So we got to put all we do is get the food delivered to us. So then we got to box it into boxes and get it all prepared to go out.
So really, it's all the only Salvation Army member is the person running the office, basically. The rest are volunteers, or
a total of about 8 employees.
Okay,
between all 3 facilities.
And that covers way more than just Roswell.
That's all my thrift store employees. It's the 4 people at the food bank.
Now, are they all considered? Like, do they have the uniform and everything? That's where I'm kind of curious. Like, what level do you get the uniform, and like, where does that draw the line? I was just curious.
The uniform ones, me and my wife, we are the officers for the Salvation Army. An officer just means we went through the training school and the seminary college.
So your Salvation Army officers are wear the uniform, where I guess your volunteer or enlisted there.
And then we have soldiers who are members of the church.
Okay.
And so, when William Booth, our founder, founded the Salvation Army, people back then in Lower London, they didn't understand deacons and elders and all
I got you.
But they understood a military structure.
So it was a position of familiarity for them.
Yeah, so they understood the rankings of a military.
Sure.
And so he kind of developed the Salvation Army on that so that the average person could understand who was what.
Sure. And plus it also, because faith is a very polarizing thing when it comes to populations and peoples and things.
Mm-hmm.
And Salvation Army's always been faith-based and always will be faith-based. But at the same time, some people, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes under Salvation Army with the uniform and everything else, it people that have an issue with faith may feel more likely to help and donate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of the less polarizing, maybe, if that's the right term. I'm a person of faith. But I understand not everybody thinks like me. And just because you don't think like me doesn't mean you don't want to help people. And we don't want to hinder someone from helping people if they don't think like me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Whereas, because now for me, I'm like the faith, to me, that's the key. That's how life works for me. And quite frankly, I don't understand people that don't have faith in their life. But at the same time, who am I to judge? Who am I to do it? And who am I to, maybe in their head they have it right. Good for you. That same time I want to, and so that's where I also think Salvation Army, like you said, familiarity, but you're not showing up in robes and looking like priests, like what a church would be. And so I think for people that may have issue with religion, maybe they're more apprehensive. Maybe they have faith, but they have an issue with religion. If that makes sense.
Yes.
They're more likely to say, I would support Salvation Army. Because, they have faith, whether it's you have faith in Buddha, faith in God, we want people of faith to be a part of our thing.
Our founder just believed in others above self. So if we have a way to help somebody, we're to help them as best we can. And then if they're apt to listen, then we can tell them about God's love. We're just to show them God's love. And then if they want to know more,
sure,
then we'll tell them more.
Well, that's how, and this is really how, your job is to triage the needed. They need medical attention. They need food. They need a place to sleep. That's the stuff you guys prioritize. We've got someone who doesn't know where they're sleeping tonight. They don't know where they're getting their next meal. We want to make sure that's taken care of. Once all of that's taken care of, it's no different than, think about you yourself. When you're comfortable at home and everyone's in place, you're in a mindset where you're more at peace and more accepting and ready to take on a new challenge or improve something. If you're busy trying to rob Peter to pay Paul every day and you can't struggle to make ends meet, your focus is on that. And you're not thinking about the big picture sometimes. You're like, I could care less about God. I'm trying to figure out what I'm having for dinner tonight. We'll get to God later. I'm trying to figure out where my sandwich is coming from. And so once those needs are taken care of, then you can say, all right, why are we here? What can we do to stop, what can we do to embetter this? And that's where, now that, the belly's fed, there's a shelter over their head, you got some warm clothing on, let's see how we can stop you having to need this all the time. How can we do this for yourself now? What can we do to help you do that? And that's how this works.
A hand up, not a handout.
Exactly. And I would think, once, faith comes in a little bit and you start seeing, because I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to get it, but people that have an issue with faith is because at some point in their life they had something negative towards that happen to them in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what it is. Could be major, could be minor, but someone that just wants to, you know what I'm saying? And so sometimes you just need to restore that faith. You get people, you have a bad experience. It's human nature to say all things are going to be like that and that bad. You get burned once, you kind of, I'm going to get burned every time I do that. I'm not going to do that again. And some people might have that faith. And so something like the Salvation Army, I think, chips away at that. It says, I get it. You were mad. Let's come home. And that's really what, it's all in the form of foods and fans and money and all that. But at the end of the day, that's what the Salvation Army is giving out, is giving the hope, the faith, the restorance in humanity and to God again, for people that probably have lost a little faith, that they've gone off the path, and or life is handing them a bunch of lemons, and they can't make lemonade right now. And Salvation Army says, "Come on, let's get the blender. We got this. We can make some lemonade." That's what it is. And if you could think of it that way, come see the goodness of it. Come shop. Come eat. Come eat copious amounts of pancakes on the second Saturday of the month, or have an omelet and help out. Come buy a fan or buy some clothing or donate items. If you've got stuff that's perfectly good, now please don't use this as your excuse. If the clothing's worn and not good for you, it's probably not going to be good for somebody else. So just let's put that in the rag pile or toss it or whatever. But if it's, good clothing that's still, serviceable, or maybe, I get it, we thought we were thinner than we were, and we got a bunch of new tags, shirts that were one size too small that got the tags on them still. Bring them on down. And I know we're not getting there. It's okay. You're just torturing yourself. Let that shirt go. Donate it, and let's get it on someone that could use it right now. And then, but this is what, this is how we help each other out. And so if you want to do that, this is a great way to support. Donate, come shop, come eat, and volunteer. Imagine, like you said, we're always looking for volunteers. If you're looking for a place to get involved, Salvation Army has a lot of different ways you can get involved and help out people. And what I love about it is, I'm going to take a stab that every one of your volunteers, when they're done at an event, every one of them feels like happy and good, because that's what service does. When you see people that are struggling and you directly are able to make their day better, it's kind of getting back to that addiction thing we were talking about. That's an addiction too.
I had this lady. It was Thanksgiving. We did a big sit down Thanksgiving at the core building.
Yeah,
for everybody. And she was here from out of town. She was part of FEMA. She was working with FEMA, and she's out from out of town. She had nothing to do, so we invited her to come help. And she said, okay. So she showed up and she helped, and she just fell in love with it. She was like, thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to come and just serve and do this.
She found her purpose.
And everybody that comes and volunteers with us, especially in events like that, at the end of the day, even though it was a lot of hard work and they're tired and they're wore out, they're just like, man, that was such a blessing. And they leave so happy.
Sometimes fixing your own personal problems gets fixed by you helping others. And I would argue all humans have been dealing this really since COVID. COVID, we all shut in for a year or two there, and some people never came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people they haven't come out fully. Even they may be walking amongst us, but they still got that isolated mindset. And at some point, that's going to affect your mental health. We are social people. Even the most curmudgeon loner of the group needs social interaction from time to time. And when you hold yourself up or isolate yourself, it can wreak havoc on mental health. And sometimes, just sometimes, getting out, meeting some people, hanging out, helping out a bit is going to do wonders for your own. And you may not even realize you're doing it to yourself. Or COVID's changed the way we think about things sometimes. And I've caught my own life. I'm like, I used to always, now I'm really, you know what I mean? In my own personal life, I've caught that. And I'm sure all of us in some way, shape, or form of experiencing that. So I would offer you maybe coming out of your comfort zone, being a volunteer. Come out and serve at one of the meals or one of the events here. Offer up your services. I guarantee you give in and do it, and you're going to, like you said, you're going to feel better. You're going to realize, okay, maybe I was holed up a thing. I need to get out. And people are infectious. And I'm telling you right now, when you have a light bulb moment with someone that's going to infect you. It's going to make you, it's going to give you the fuel to want to do the next thing.
Yeah, we had one volunteer in Las Cruces. It was when the migrants the first wave started coming over, and me and my wife were put in charge of doing the feedings for all of them while they came over. That was a lot just for me and my wife. It was like the meals sometimes got up to hundreds every meal, and so we're doing it 3 days a week, or 3 times a day, 7 days a week. And we had this gentleman show up, an older gentleman. He was a retired mathematician from the missile range.
Okay.
A real live rocket scientist, right?
Nice.
And he showed up and he was like, I don't know how to help, but I got money. So he gave me money. I was like, well, if you really want to help, we're going to be feeding at 12 o'clock at the crisis center.
Yeah, you can pick up a spoon.
He never missed another meal. He was there for every single meal. And then he kept volunteering for other stuff when the feeding was over with.
Sure.
And he said, even his doctor said, you probably just added a couple of years to his life, because he was doing nothing but sitting around his house.
He's got purpose.
This gave him purpose.
The mind is the most powerful thing, man. It can make you in the best of health and the worst of health very quickly, just depending on your attitude and how. This is. I'm trying to get into a human, psychology course here, but this is kind of the reason why you hear about people that were married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and one spouse dies. It's not uncommon for the next one, even when they're in the most perfect of health, them following within a year because they've lost their will. Their better half. Everything that was life to them is gone now, and it's hard to get out of that. And so a lot of people lose at that. And I think COVID has caused a bit of that and we're still in it. You're 5 years later, we're still dealing with that mess, I think. And this is how you fix it. Maybe, and like you said, because you're gonna make friends. Like, you're literally gonna meet volunteers, but at the same time, in the world of serving, you're gonna see the same people over and over again. They're gonna come on certain days to meal because this is the life and they need help. And you establish relationships, connections, friendships, even with some of these folks.
And you see miracle stories. You see miracles happen. We did Christmas Eve. We did a feeding because nobody is doing feedings on Christmas Eve. So we went ahead and opened up for feeding. And between FEMA, the Woodman's Life Group, they put together Oh, and the Sisters and Sally's group here in town, they put together presents. They wrapped up presents to give to the homeless.
Oh, nice.
So we brought them all in. We fed them a nice dinner, and then we gave them presents, and they were just all in wonder. And my wife, she gave one to this younger lady. My wife says probably she must have been like 19, but already on the streets and, just living that hard life. And so my wife gave her this present, and she ripped it open. I was out picking up kettles at the time. My wife said that the face was like that child on Christmas morning ripping open their presents. She was so excited about it, and she was pulling everything out and this exciting look on her face. And my wife went over and was like, "What'd you get?" "Look, I got this and I got this." And she was so excited about these little things that she got.
Someone cared about her.
That somebody actually took a minute to get stuff and wrap it up.
You don't realize how big a deal those things until you experience it firsthand. It's kind of like just another example is the Roswell Refuge, domestic violence shelter. They're always looking for volunteers and help too. Another great place if you're looking to help people, that's a good one too. But I hear stories all the time because they deal with victims of domestic violence. And the way a domestic violence victim survives is builds walls, builds basically isolation. They don't trust. It's very hard to crack that armor, to get them to open up, to talk to you, because their defense is to shut down, because that's how they survived whatever they're getting through. So when they're at the refuge there, doing random acts of, there'll be people that come up and say to them and say, "Hey, here's some presents or gifts," like you were talking about, or, "Hey, let's take you to the salon and get you a makeover and get you," and they're like, "Why are you doing this for me?" It's like, "Because I want to, and you look like you need it." And that breaks down. For them, they've been dealing with such bad aspects of humanity that when the good part of humanity comes in, they don't understand it, and they don't get. It's like, "Wait a minute, you don't know me. You're just doing this because I need help and you want to," and it blows them away. But that's the first moments of humanity. It's like, humans aren't bad again. And so those gifts that you're talking about, that is what chips away at the walls. People that are homeless or people that are in these kinds of situations, they've adapted and developed skills to survive and thrive in those climates, which sometimes makes it hard to interact socially, be a part of. And so those presents that you're given, that's how you heal. That's how, the sandwich, the thing that you're giving them things that people have basically told some of these people to go take a long walk off a short peel. We don't want nothing to do with you. And someone's saying, "No, there's no catch. Just sit down and eat a sandwich." Or, "No, I got you this gift because I wanted to. You needed it." And that's when these people say, "So not everybody hates me. Not everybody thinks I'm a pariah. Not everybody thinks I'm a weirdo." That's how you fix this stuff.
And that's how when I got here and I met Mark, he's our volunteer that does the homeless feeding.
Yeah.
And he's just so amazing because he not only prepares the meals for them, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, he drives to them. He will go drive out into the middle of the boonies to wherever their encampment's at and deliver the food to them. And he takes out a lot of the stuff we get donated, like clothing and toiletries. And
now I would recommend the average person does this because you have to build a trust there.
Yeah,
he's clearly done that. Yeah. I know this enough to know that our homeless camps, main camps, whatever we'll call them, there's a very much hierarchy. It's government, it's got its own government basically, and there is a certain for their own protection and their own deal here. And so if you just roll up in there trying to do stuff, they're not going to you got to build a trust.
Yeah, Mark's been doing it for 30 years.
They're going to look at you as a threat. So leave that kind of thing to the experts, people at Salvation Army or the Homeless Coalition or people that this is what they do every
Or
single
if you really
time.
want to get involved with it, come meet Mark. And
Sure.
He can, and if you really want
Bring
to
you in
do
slowly.
it, he could take you with him.
Bring you in slowly, and so you're a known entity, and because at the end of the day, you're gonna have much more success if you do it that way than you're right, because it's just life, and you don't. I'm not going to try to make you to understand it no more than they're going to try to understand how you're coming from on that You just got to understand that that's how it is, and you have to respect the process.
I mean, you got to remember, these people are used to, whenever you walk by them, everybody looks the other way. Everybody puts
exactly.
And so they're used to putting their eyes down and trying not to interact with people because nobody wants to interact with them.
They don't want to get on your radar, because usually when that happens, they end up in jail, or they end up in beat up or trouble or something.
Or the police called and then shoot away from where they're at.
Yeah, they're ending up, the drama's about to happen, and that's the last thing they want here. And so this is, I know we need to wrap this up, but this is why getting involved with Salvation Army is great. Come start with a breakfast. Come out to the next breakfast here.
It's actually this Saturday.
This Saturday will be the next breakfast. Come on out, enjoy a break. Talk to some of the volunteers and say, hey, I love what's going on here. What's going on? How can we help? Or if you're starting your spring cleaning and you got a bunch of donations and things, please, rather than have the yard sale or throw it in the trash, maybe the Salvation Army can use some of that to help some people around our community and make a little money to keep helping people.
Or if you want to know more, just come visit me and my wife, Captain Noel.
Yeah.
And she loves tacos, by the way. She always wants me to tell
that. You can't go wrong. You bring a taco into a room, you make friends. That's just, that's a key to life.
Well, in our last appointment in Las Cruces, it got to the point when she was doing Christmas signups to help the families get gifts for their kids. She had people started bringing her like cupcakes and cookies and stuff while she's sitting there doing signups.
Right. Like, well, if you really want to grease the wheels, the tacos will do it. Cupcakes are nice, but tacos get me dancing. So, but yeah, please come learn and come be a part of the family. That's what I really think. If you volunteer and come, you're gonna find the rest of your life starts coming into place and things start coming up aces for you all of a sudden. It's just things like that start to happen.
Yeah.
Good deal. Mike, is there anything we missed that you wanted to cover?
No, just we're out there trying to do the best we can. If you feel led to help support us or help stand beside us, talk to me and my wife.
I know,
see how you can.
Facebook, all that. If you Google Salvation Army Roswell, it'll pop right up. You can find the Facebooks. And
yeah, if you go to our Facebook page, we actually, my wife broadcasts everything just about.
Excellent.
And so we're always posting stuff. We always list everything that we're doing and what's going on our Roswell Facebook page.
Yeah, so like and follow that, and that way you can stay abreast. And then, of course, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and yourself or your wife or one of the volunteers will get back to them as soon as humanly possible. So, deal. Well, thank you, Mike. Thanks for the visit, and we'll see you here next time. Maybe we get you in a month or something. Maybe we need something to figure out. Maybe like right before that second Saturday, maybe have you come in. Just to say, hey, don't forget, we're doing breakfast this weekend.
Okay, I'll bring my wife with me. Everybody loves talking to her.
Yeah, we'll do that. You can. I always do that too. It's like, yeah, you want to talk to my better half. She's way more.
Well, I'm more the introvert. She's the extrovert.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, it depends. It depends on the circles. I'm introverted, believe it or not. People don't believe that because of my show and everything. But I turn off the mics. I'm kind of quiet. But that'd be great. We'll do that. And folks, come on and let's. The Salvation Army's been serving and helping out. Let's roll up our sleeves and help them help others and do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
County, who were impacted by the October floods. Residents can place flood debris curbside for pickup beginning February 9th through the end of February. Residents are asked to separate the debris into several categories, including electronics, large appliances, vegetative debris, and construction debris. Curbside debris must be free of overhead obstructions, maintain an 8-foot clear radius surrounding the debris, and should not obstruct any right-of-way. Residents do not need to call to schedule the debris removal. The removals will begin in the 2 quadrants north of US 380 and move south into Midway and Dexter. Do you have what it takes? A free police and fire fit test is being offered on February 22nd in Roswell. The event runs from 8 to noon at the Lewis Jones Training Center. It's geared toward folks who might be interested in starting a career with Roswell Police or Fire. If you do attend, you must wear closed-toe shoes and bring long pants for the RFD challenge. Participants must be at least 18 with a high school diploma or GED. On-site applications will be there. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report.
Here's some more basketball scores from the earlier this week. We're going to catch up with you real quick. The Goddard boys knocked off Lovington by a score of 59-49. So they're now 1-1 in district. They'll be playing at Artesia Friday night at 7, part of a girls-boys doubleheader. Also on Tuesday, Dexter fell big to Tularosa, 74-29. The Demons will try to rebound against Ruidoso Friday night. NMMI knocked off Ruidoso on Tuesday, 55-46. The Colts are 12-9 overall, 1-0 in district. They'll host Tularosa Friday at 6:30. Meanwhile, on Monday night, it was Hagerman beating Dow 54-48. The Bobcats 12-5 in boys hoops, 3-1 in district. They'll host Eunice. Should be a good game Friday night at 7:30. Eunice is 15-5. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm for the next few days. We have a fairly strong high-pressure system over the area. We'll be in the upper 70s to low 80s, and we get lots of sunshine. Mid-30s to low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. 80 to 85 for the afternoon high on Friday. Windy and sunny. We'll be right around the 80-degree mark or a little bit over, and sunny through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished higher yesterday. It was a choppy session on Wall Street. Google parent Alphabet shared its corporate results. The tech giant saw its share price tumble after company officials note that the cloud computing division fell short of expectations for revenue. Alphabet's overall revenue also failed to meet estimates. The market reacted there. Investors also looked past the tariff negotiations, and in other company-specific news, chip-making giant AMD sold off as its fourth quarter revenue did not meet expectations. On the flip side, AI-related firms Super Microcomputer and NVIDIA moved higher as the server maker Super Microcomputer says it's reached full production availability for its AI data center using NVIDIA's Blackwell platform. In economic data, private payrolls expanded by 183,000 in January. That exceeded expectations, according to ADP. And we get initial jobless claims for the week ending February 1st today. On the whole, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 317 points, the S&P 500 up 0.39%, and the NASDAQ Composite up 0.19%. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
This is Judge Janine Pirro with an important message. A mom and her son were being followed by a man in a parking lot. As he approached their car, she pulled out her Byrna launcher, and the sight of it was enough to make him flee. Byrna gives you the power to protect your family without lethal force. No permits, no background checks, just peace of mind. Visit Byrna.com and use code Janine for 10% off. Remember, Byrna isn't legal in New York City or Yonkers. Stay safe. Stay prepared.
Attention Roswell, the all-new Roswell Ford is back and open for business for service, parts, and sales at our dealership at 821 North Main Street. Our goal for 2025 is to make buying a new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicle super fun, super fast, and super easy. In fact, we'll give you the price we give to a friend or family member right up front. Bring us any trade in any condition. Don't even wash it. At Roswell Ford, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? We can help. We'll take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with even more aggressive lenders, all with great rates and terms for good credit, no credit, and even bad credit, with rates as low as 0% APR. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Huge savings, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance, plus tax, title, and license with approved credit.
When you stick with Block, everyone's a winner. Weekly prizes and giveaways like a Samsung 65-inch 4K Smart TV to be giving away on February 21st. Your Roswell, New Mexico H&R Block wants to help those affected by the recent flooding that affected our beautiful city. We are offering a discount to any tax filers claiming a casualty loss deduction this season. Please give us a call at 575-622-5455 or stop by our new location at 701 South Main. H&R Block has got you covered.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Taking a cue from her boss, that would be President Trump. Newly confirmed Attorney General Pam Bondi has hit the ground running, coordinating with Homeland Security to crush drug cartels. Bondi is also cutting sanctuary city money and is investigating Trump targeting lawfare. Prayer on the breakfast this morning for President Trump.
The president spoke at 2 prayer breakfast events, one hosted by a private group and one at the U.S. Capitol.
We have to bring religion back.
He also reflected on last summer's assassination attempt.
I believed in God, but I feel much more strongly about it. Something happened.
The president announced the creation of a Religious Liberty Commission, a Justice Department task force aimed at eradicating anti-Christian bias inside the federal government, and a White House faith-based office. Greg Clugston, Washington.
From now on, any school allowing men to compete against girls or women in sports or use their locker rooms risks losing federal Title IX funds. That's under a presidential executive order. The deadline for federal workers to accept a buyout offer is upon us.
More than 2 million employees have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time this Thursday to decide what to do. Administration officials have increased their pressure on workers to leave. Officials also say furloughs or layoffs could come next. Officials say workers would have fewer civil service protections and higher scrutiny if they remain.
Correspondent Andrew Stewart says a buyout part of the Trump administration's drive to trim the size and the cost of the federal government. The U.S. Military Academy at West Point ordering a dozen cadet clubs focusing on ethnicity and gender to disband. And watching Wall Street this hour, the Dow is down 140 points, the NASDAQ 17 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Australian researchers have produced the first kangaroo embryo through in vitro fertilization. Billed as a groundbreaking achievement, scientists say it could save other marsupial species from going extinct.
Australia has one of the most diverse populations of animals and plants in the world, but also the highest mammal extinction rate on the planet. After successfully injecting a single kangaroo sperm into an egg, academics at the University of Queensland are now hopeful the technique could be replicated to preserve some of Australia's endangered species. Koalas, Tasmanian devils, and northern hairy-nosed wombats are among those threatened. And the researchers say the birth of a marsupial through IVF could become a reality within a decade.
That's a BBC's Simon Atkinson. At least 17 children have been killed in a fire at an Islamic school in northwest Nigeria. The country's emergency response agency says 17 others were injured in the blaze early today. About 100 children in the school when the fire broke out. Townhall.com. The Scottish government is putting out the word it does not plan to ban cats.
First Minister John Swinney was forced to issue the statement after a report by independent experts branded felines a threat to Scotland's wildlife. The Scottish Animal Welfare Commission suggested containment measures be considered to reduce the damage. It said that could include restrictions on introducing cats to households in vulnerable areas. But after outraged headlines, Swinney set the record straight on Monday. He said the government's not going to be banning cats or restricting cats. We've no intention of doing so, and we will not be doing it. Keith Peters reporting.
Dairy cattle in Nevada have been infected with a new type of bird flu that's different from the version that has spread in herds since last year. It indicates that distinct strains of H5N1 bird flu virus have spilled over from wild birds into cattle at least twice. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Ah, yes. Welcome to it.
A mere days away from the Super Bowl.
Indeed. The Chiefs, or as my friend has called it, Taylor, taking on the Eagles.
So are you going to root for?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I got no dog in any fight here. Now, and this is going to upset you.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, because I'm a fan of the show that I listen to, The Bonfire, and the host Big J. Okerson is a massive Eagles fan, I tend to say go Birds, but
yeah, I get that.
You know, and that's really that's a very tacit connection.
Well,
you know?
I'm not in love with the Chiefs, but I'm going to root for the Chiefs. It's because I really, really hate the Eagles.
Well, yeah, and that makes sense.
And I think as a Cowboys fan, you can at least
I extremely hate the Eagles. Like, by all means, Cowboys were way out of it, way far in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I rooted for the Commanders because I wanted the Eagles to not fly.
Right.
But I'm not a Mahomes fan.
Okay.
I'm not an Andy Reid fan, so fly birds.
Wow.
Well,
that's a bold statement coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is the next one to be Tom Brady.
Well, see, and in my pea brain, I kind of put it in, well, Mahomes is a tech boy. That's kind of like a home dude. So that's why I like Mahomes just because he's got the tech connection. So I'm always like, well, he's kind of a home, Lubbock's sort of local.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird how you make connections to teams to root for when your team isn't in it.
Right? You're like, I knew a guy one time in college who wore an Eagles shirt I really liked, so I think I'm going to go with the Eagles.
I just see nothing but inundated things that come out of the mouths of Eagles fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're the worst. They talk the most smack, and they're awful.
And anything that gives them joy brings me pain.
And vice versa.
So, a sea of crying Eagles fans about 10 o'clock Sunday night. I'm going to sleep like a baby. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to bathe in the tears of Philadelphia. Here's the thing. Whatever happens, no matter what, win or lose, there's going to be a riot in Philly. It happens every year. Philly and Boston are the two places where
someone argue that cleans up the place a little bit.
That's true. Philly and Boston are the two places I've ever heard of that they grease the poles so that drunks can't climb up them.
Yeah.
Yes, and then regardless of losing, Philadelphia goes nuts.
Yeah,
winning,
we won,
they go nuts.
Or, I can't believe we lost. You know, it's either way. They're going to yell and flip cars.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's not going to be fun.
Like I said, I'm not an Eagles fan by any means necessary, but I'm even worse of a Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid person.
That's fair.
You don't like
and NFC.
Fumbarooski?
No, and those commercials drive me up the wall.
Oh. See, this is why I love not having regular TV or watching channel to channel.
See, I don't have regular TV. I have the antenna, and that's how I get to watch football.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I get stuck with all these stupid commercials.
I ain't gonna lie. Seeing like a guy in that level saying, hey, how about give me some of them nuggies? Makes me kind of giggle.
Oh, no. See, now I'm real glad I haven't seen the spot. I'd have flipped my TV set.
That's a different spot, but it's still Andy Reid.
I cannot stand seeing a grown adult male saying the word nuggies.
Well, it's one of their older ones. I think it's like from 2 years ago where they're like in a fast food joint and they're trying to explain bundle and saving. And he's comparing the burger and the nuggets. And then there's Andy Reid like, all right, tell me about them nuggies.
That made me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit when you said it.
It's just when seeing that guy say nuggie, it just made me giggle.
I'll say this though, Peyton Manning might be my favorite commercial I've seen all year.
Peyton Manning's good.
Am I Peyton?
Peyton Manning?
Or Peyton Manning?
Well, have you seen this? Have you seen the very spin-offs from it?
No.
Because not only is there Peyton Manning now, there's Debating Manning.
Debating
Manning. There's
that's great.
Oh, what is? There's like 4 different Mannings.
Yeah,
now. I can't remember them
he's
all.
got a lot of personas. You know, the one commercial that made me laugh was when they're on the airplane and Andy Reid's drawing the mustaches on him. That was a fun commercial.
Yeah, that was a good one. And I liked the original, not when they rebooted it because it just didn't seem as good.
Because it's not.
The original
there was Snickers ad.
Snickers ad with the
chefs. That commercial ran back in the early 2000s. But
then they rebooted it here.
It was, Coach.
Now you're not yourself when you don't have Snickers.
Yeah, you know, and that was good. But I'm not gonna lie, when he does the nuggies, when I saw that, it just hit me different. It just made me giggle. It just makes me giggle to see a man.
How do you feel about a grown woman saying nuggies?
It's, you know what? Out of a female's mouth, it's almost understandable. Let me explain. Women are more matronly. They tend to be have more motherly characteristics, and so you'd expect a woman to say something like nuggies to a child. Him though.
That's what makes me laugh.
He is barren. This one.
But when he says it
in the commercial, when he says it, he's honestly like a toddler in a man's body.
Yeah, and that's why it makes me giggle.
He looks like a child's expression on his face, just in a man's body with a mustache.
Over chicken nuggets. And it just makes me kind of giggle.
However,
I'll have to see the commercial to judge.
Now, have you seen what they're kind of going to be tapping in for this Super Bowl?
I've seen a couple.
The NFL's doing it.
Okay.
So I think what they're doing is they're introducing some big kind of trying to get flag football in schools initiative kind of deal. NFL's sponsoring this kind of deal. So to kind of kick off the marketing for all that stuff, they're going to be doing stuff in the Super Bowl. But what they've kind of teased the thing, and the whole thing's going to be centered around it looks like some 80s high school. And the principal's the principal who's being played by Pat McAfee if you know who he is. He's the former kicker for the Colts, and now he's like a big podcaster. I think he's on ESPN or one.
Yeah, and he's also one of the commentary for WWE too.
He's kind of a big deal. And
it's called Run With It.
And he plays the overweight, like, former Glory Days athlete, and then they kind of tease where he's like, I'm going to bring it back or do something, and he's dancing and cheering in the hallways. And I'm guessing during the Super Bowl, there's going to be like this whole 2-minute video that's the whole spiel. But yeah, they just started kind of popping and plugging that here over the last 3 days. The last 2-3 days, I've started seeing stuff for it. So, but I haven't seen the full whatever commercial they're going to put in.
No, hold on a second. This might be different because this says they're doing the Super Bowl 59 flag football game on YouTube, featuring Team Kai Cenat versus Team Speed, as in Team I Show Speed.
Okay, I don't know if that's part of the NFL deal, but this is part of start a campaign by the NFL to get flag football in schools. So
I don't know
instead of regular beat you up football.
No, I think this is more for like elementary and middle school, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Or they flag football, but maybe not instead of, but in addition to. I don't know.
Well, there's, and Hike It, Spike It, in many years proved that there is a massive following for flag football.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's huge. It's especially big in places like Atlanta and like Florida and those like the South region. It's huge over there.
Well, it's a lot cheaper to do.
It's true.
Yeah, you don't got to buy pads.
Yeah, I'm going to take a stab that insuring a flag football team's a lot cheaper than insuring a regular football team.
Yeah,
it's going to take a hunch.
Not nearly as many collision injuries.
So in the dollars and cents world, it makes more sense to spend less dollars.
Sure.
Let's see. But anyway, I'm kind of curious about that one. I am wanting to see more of the Bud Light stuff with what's it?
Post Malone
and
Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
There was one. I think it's Coors. His new Coors Light's doing it, and it's called Slow Monday, and it is a 60-second ad. They issued celebrities and just decided to go with sloths.
Okay.
So it's an office full of sloths. What a slow Monday would look like. I'm holding off on watching it because everything I've read online says this might be the best commercial of the year.
Okay. I wonder if Sam
I
Elliott's
see it
involved.
live. Well, I sure hope so.
Well, he's the barn court. I mean, you got
that man when he shaves his mustache looks like a turtle.
It's kind of crazy.
Turtle.
Yeah. That's why he needs the mustache.
He always got to have that mustache.
He's the master of disguise. He takes his mustache off. You don't know who he is.
Maybe like him and Steve Harvey, all the magic's in the stash. You know what I mean?
Until he opens his mouth and says, well, you know something, me-ho.
Oh.
Well, see, but I like to picture my Sam Elliott anymore.
Oh, now we have our own Sam Elliott.
Well, that's the Sam Elliott. We all have like our own versions. Some like, and these are the people that we really need to help them.
Yeah.
Some think of him more like in the Frankie and Grace, like soft, like kinder, gentler.
A lot of people
Sam
didn't
Elliott.
get introduced to Sam Elliott in like Roadhouse, for example.
I'm more of Roadhouse. Come here, amigo.
I like to think of my Sam Elliott as not even a Sam Elliott with a face or a body, but it's just a voice panning over a picture of a wheat field.
That's right. But more importantly, my true Sam Elliott is Gettysburg Sam Elliott. And that's when he plays a cavalry general. And he's got a strong stash in this one. And he's got the Union, and there's one speech where he gives this, like, we're going to hold the height today. We're going to hold it here, not here. And he does one of these speeches, and he goes, at the end of the day, we're going to thump our chests. And as he dumps it, this whole thing of dust comes off. And I'm like, that's the man, Sam Elliott. Like, right there, that's the run-through-the-wall Kool-Aid man, Sam Elliott.
What's funny
and that's my ultimate Sam Elliott.
There's a whole generation of people who take their Sam Elliott as the owner of a ranch and father of Ashton Kutcher and some sexual predator whose name I can't think of. You know, The Ranch.
Oh, yeah,
from
the
Netflix.
curly kid, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I just didn't want to say his name.
I don't remember his name.
Danny Masterson.
Okay, yeah.
Drag it out of me.
I always do that. You're so easy.
Yeah, I know. Like a Sunday morning, baby. But But yeah, no, there's a whole grouping of people who only know Sam Elliott from like shows like that.
Yeah, or there is people in their mid-30s to late 30s that know him as the dude, the guy at the bar in The Big Lebowski, the White Russian. You know, that's that whole sitting I guess he was kind of a sage. He kind of just sat at the bar and shot out wisdom for that whole movie. So
what's the most recent show that he did? We watched it on.
Well, he's the mayor of Quahog on Family Guy.
Ah.
Yeah.
He's Adam West's brother, Wild West.
Wild West.
That makes sense. Current.
And he's got a gigantic mustache, which is in and of itself its own character.
Nice.
It's actually saved him on occasion. Wow. Thanks a lot, mustache.
Oh, Justified.
Justified, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was in Justified.
Okay. That was an FX show, right?
We already binge watched The Lincoln Lawyer, and I'm so waiting for the next season. I was like, oh my God, I should have slowed down on this.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Yes.
It kind of they do a good job of you caring about the people.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you're like rooting for everybody. And it's like you care more about like the people. Like, oh,
and that's
now they're fun. Yay!
I will say this: people have not watched like shows like Breaking Bad because of I don't like meth. I don't roll this. I'm like, no, you have to They deep dive the characters. That's what you care about. You care about Skyler. You care about Walt Jr.
Yeah.
They flesh these characters out and do such a great job. And so when a show takes the time and fleshes out the characters, really appreciate
But these are the
that.
same people go, The Godfather's a masterpiece. I'm like, you realize they're all gangster killers.
Right.
You know
that they sold the Breaking Bad house in Albuquerque?
Yeah, well, they're selling. Did they sell it?
They sold it. It sold.
How much? Because they were asking an astronomical.
I don't know.
Crazy
They were
amount.
asking $4 million.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. There was something on the news the other night that popped up and said the house had sold.
Okay.
Because the people that were living there got tired of pizzas being thrown on their roof.
Yeah.
Well, they did a whole lot to do, but I remember seeing a thing about a month
It was
ago.
like a month
maybe?
ago. Yeah, they was on the market.
It was on the list.
Yeah.
They were listing it because, like you said, they're tired of all this and ready to move. But yeah, they were asking like $4 million for it.
Which
I
so
think
I'm very
it was maybe
curious.
like
houses in the
last
area
week
are
or
like
something on the news that said that it had
Okay,
sold.
well, I'm curious to see what they actually got for it.
I wonder if maybe like some celebrity bought it just to
that, or I
Turn it
imagine they're
into
going
a
to
thing.
turn it into like a museum or something.
Yeah.
something.
I'm sure
It
the
would
neighbors
be-
will love that.
It would definitely be apropos if Bryan Cranston and Jesse Pinkman like conjoined bought it or something.
Well, if they're going to do something like that, then if I'm the neighbors, I'm like, hey, what do you want for my property? Because you're going to need a parking lot for this thing.
right. Hey, you know something fun? I actually got to meet Sam Elliott.
Really?
Yeah. Back when they started, one of the slaughterhouses was trying to do horse slaughter, and we contested against it. Sam Elliott helped fund the attorneys to go against, and so we had to go to the Supreme Court in Santa Fe, and he showed up, and we got to meet Sam Elliott.
Nice. Did
He
come
had
in
a mustache.
Did he come in on
yeah.
a horse and a Coors Light in his hand?
No.
Was the ad
And a big steak?
Was the ad campaign called "Just Say Nay"? Because it really should have been.
No.
He's
Nay.
like, horse.
No.
It ain't what's for dinner.
Not on my plate.
But his voice is truly like deep. Like it makes your stomach go, what?
That's not wasn't your stomach.
No, it was my stomach. I was like, what? My friend who was with me, she was like, oh my God, I want to rape him. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, calm down. We were in a courtroom.
So
My sister-in-law would find him very fetching.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so does my sister. My sister's like, ooh. And then when she saw him in Justified without a mustache, she's like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he looks like a turtle.
But full pull back of the curtain, my sister-in-law also has a thing, I think, for just old people. 'Cause they had a thing for Sean Connery, too.
Well, Sean
So
Connery
does
has
my sister.
he's like swarthy though. I've argued that I get that. The one that bugs me, Pierce Brosnan.
yeah.
It's always bothered me.
Yeah, but at least he still looks kind of like I saw
Okay,
Sean Connery in the last 10, 15 years of his film career, and none of that is sexy.
the first two movies I
That
ever saw.
commercial where he gets the water splashed on him because the booking app did it wrong.
Yeah.
It just makes me nauseous.
First two movies I ever saw him in.
We should probably play a break and get an official thing.
Yeah.
It's already 9:22.
Wait, you know who my old character is? Mads Mikkelsen. That's my man.
Okay.
Hannibal.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
Mads.
There you go.
Because he makes women mad.
Yeah.
You know who I think the new generation of Sam Elliott is that dude from Yellowstone, Cole Hauser or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Cole
I was
Hauser,
like he's the one that women are finding dreamy
swooning over.
and all that good stuff.
Mads.
So, that's... All right, let's do this. Y'all chit chat.
Yep.
I'm going to take a commercial break, and then we'll come back in 3 minutes, and we will have actual dog and cats and reigning and living together in harmony talk from the Humane Society. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
So you've got questions about the birds and the bees? What would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben Manette with Roswell Seed Company. If Jim was here, he'd tell you that it's time to order your bees. You'll get a 3-pound box of live bees and a queen, and that's enough to start a hive. As for the birds, we're talking about baby chicks. Not only are they cute as can be, they'll soon be supplying your family with fresh eggs. So come see us at Roswell Seed and find out all about the birds and the bees.
Do you want to improve the appearance of your smile or increase your self-esteem and confidence? Many people have already chosen to update their smile with veneers. Here at Carabelli Dental in Roswell, we work with our patients to understand their smile goals. With veneer treatment, we can eliminate gaps between teeth, solve the problems of stained teeth, and even perfect uneven or misshaped teeth. You owe it to yourself to have the smile you know is possible. Call us now.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Space, the final frontier.
Hi, Captain. You can choose your space at Main Trailer Sales.
Fascinating. Don't cling on to that old camper. The logical choice. New Durangos, Montanas, Cougars, and Passports from Main Trailer Sales. They allow space and comfort. Boldly explore like never before.
Beam on board to that perfect camper.
Don't go camping without us. Live long and explore.
Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without us.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 9 o'clock, and now officially joining us on the radio, wearing her Humane Society hat.
Good morning.
Crystal Noble back with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's life at the shelter this morning?
Warm.
Yeah.
We are under a quarantine with the dogs.
Parvo?
Possible distemper.
Distemper. Okay.
We had a puppy on Monday that was sick, took it to the vet. The vet felt very strongly that it was distemper, so they advised us to quarantine just to watch everybody else.
So no adoptions right now for
no
for
adoptions
dogs.
right now.
Or is that all animals?
I don't have any cats that are fully vaccinated yet to go up, so cats will go up on Tuesday.
Okay.
Because they get their reboosters tomorrow.
Okay.
So Tuesday they'll go up.
However, I will. Does this that just applies to your place, right? The Humane Society. Or does that also apply to animal control?
I think animal control has been dealing with similar issues.
Okay.
And yesterday they told us that they were closed for deep cleaning and sanitizing.
Okay.
I don't know if they're reopened today or not.
Okay.
But I know they've been battling some issues off and on.
But if you are looking for a dog right now, call over there and ask and see what they're doing.
Yes, and if your pet is missing, still call them and ask them, hey, have you picked anything up?
Yeah, all that still goes on when pets are being turned in and things like that. But we just can't adopt out animals that because of risk of spreading the disease.
Right, and unfortunately, we can't take in anything either because the puppy was in our quarantine.
Gotcha.
So all of our
But you can triage like you guys normally would and say, hey, we can get it over here, or we can, put it online and keep it at somebody's house if need be. There's always a way to figure these out.
We have loopholes that we're, able to do. However, there are times to where
gets overtaxed.
I have overfilled my loopholes.
Yeah. But please, if you're trying to do some of these things, don't let that disturb, because that stuff's got to happen. And we'll
unfortunately, with our weather being as warm as it is, and we have not had a true winter, the parvovirus and the distemper virus have not been able to be killed because it has to be freezing temperatures.
Unfortunately, needed some more 8s, huh?
We needed a lot of more 8s.
Yeah. Now we got 8s now that it's got a 5 and it's a plus.
Yes, unfortunately. So one thing that we want to encourage everybody, make sure you stay on top of your vaccinations. Parvo, distemper, rabies, for your cats, RCP, because we are an incubator for these viruses.
And I'm going to take a stab that when we get weird weather patterns like this, it pushes the timetable up for these things.
It really does. Yeah. It really does. So normally this time of the year, what we would be dealing with would be just your basic upper respiratory allergies, kennel cough, the same stuff we go through. But because our weather has fluctuated so much from hot to cold to hot to cold, it's basically, pushed it forward a little bit faster than it should have.
Right.
And normally in January, we have white stuff on the ground or cloudy days or cold, and right now we have 85-degree temperatures.
We're all t-shirts.
They were t-shirts, capri shorts.
Yeah.
So be cautious. If you have animals, make sure to keep the poop in the yard cleaned up.
Sure.
Because it attracts flies, and flies are a big carrier of parvo. So they land from one poop pile to the next poop pile, and if your dogs are anything like one of our dogs, they like to eat the fly raisins.
Gotcha.
So eating the fly raisins and just where that dog has been, or that fly has been.
And there's your easy spread. Right
there it is.
Let me ask about like fleas and tick stuff, because
it is.
Is that going to push that timetable?
It already is.
Okay, so
it actually never stopped.
Oh, okay. All right. I was kind of thinking, well, as it gets cold, you really don't have to. But come spring, you need to start applying that stuff again.
Normally, in like November, when we start like cooling off, like it slows down some, and then into December, when we're in the cooler temperatures in January, they fade off. But we've had very mild temperatures. Not enough to kill anything.
Gotcha.
So we're still seeing ticks and fleas.
So keep your whatever you use for protection there.
If
keep it
you
going.
have Brevecto, NexGard, Frontline, any of that stuff, stay on it all year round. Keep your yard treated, your house treated.
They don't still use those stupid things you buy at the store.
You can still buy them. We don't recommend them because
does those ever work? Like I've never seen those things work.
No. It's sad. We've had animals come in that have had the flea collars on, and then had fleas crawling on the collar and on the cat.
I just figured society's figured that one out, and it just kind of went the way of the dodo.
Unfortunately, because they are cheap, and the majority of our people, that own animals are
cost of least resistance. I understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So cheaper is always not better. Unfortunately, the old saying is you pay for what you get for. If you go cheap, you're going to get cheap results.
Sure. Well,
and that doesn't always apply to everything. But when it comes to medication and animals,
I tend to lean toward vets when it comes to get your meds from vets, as opposed to the Walmart pet supply aisle. When it comes to medicine.
Well, there's really good stuff that they do sell over the counter for like bathing, like the Adam's Flea and Tick shampoo is very good.
Okay.
They have this spray. So let's say you find a stray animal and it's on a weekend and that animal is covered in fleas. Walmart sells it, Paul's Vet sells it, and then you can use it and it kills them. And
but as a preventative, maybe stick with the...
Yeah, it's not a preventative. It kills on site. And so that will help keep you from taking them into your house and spreading them through your house until you could get to a vet to get the preventative.
It's the Band-Aid till you can take proper.
It really is. So with our temperatures being so warm, we are going to start seeing cooler temperatures hopefully soon. We do still have the free straw, and it's NM Dogs that has sponsored us with the free straw.
Awesome.
One of the stipulations that they ask us to do when we're giving the straw away is they want us to take pictures of us bagging the straw up, giving the straw, or delivering the straw, helping you put the straw in the doghouse, or whatever it need be. So that way they can have proof that it's going to what they've set it to use for.
And here's the thing, too, is, granted, it's still 80, 85, but it's dropping 35, 30. That's still...
It's still cold
in the night. You want to go
night.
lay out in 35-degree weather and see how you do? That straw is still very much needed.
Yes.
Unfortunately, now, first off, I would say bring that pet inside.
I agree.
Air. But I'm not going to debate people's ideologies on things. At least get the straw.
Yes. So if you need straw, call down to the shelter Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30. Let us know how many dogs you have because we have a certain amount of flakes to give per dog.
Okay.
And so if you say, hey, I have 3 dogs, 3 dog houses.
Does size matter? Like if it's a little.
No, it's mainly the size of the dog house. You know, if it's a lot larger dog house than a regular size dog house.
It's more about the facility, not the pet.
Right.
Gotcha.
So if you have a Chihuahua, 3 flakes is going to be quite a lot, but at the same time, it'll last a lot longer than it would a medium-sized dog or a large dog.
Absolutely.
Once we, get to start handing out, more of the straw, as we get low, we just contact this place, and then they call in an order to one of the livestock places here, and we go pick up some more, barring that they have it. We do have a couple of dog houses that are available if there are people that are in need of dog houses. If you have a dog house that you're not using and you don't need, contact us because we do try to help the community as much as possible by taking dog houses and helping them give the animals proper shelter in the weathers when, people, they might not be able to take them inside.
Some provisions are better than no provisions.
Yes.
And so that, we're trying to make lemonade here.
So. We are. And then one of the things that we're also trying to give people enough notice on, and I know the city's already posted it, but the chain ban did pass. So starting...
And now we're in a grace period-ish for another, a couple weeks?
Until April 13th.
So about another month and change here.
So this is time where you need to make alterations to your yard, your fence, whatever it need be, to keep your animal contained in your yard. Because after April 13th, if your animal is still on a chain, citations are going to be given.
And I'm going to take a stab. They're going to enforce it hard right at the jump.
Yes.
And then, life happens. But when that April deadline hits, they're going to be going through neighborhoods. They're going to be looking for people in violation of these things, and you're going to get your notices on that. And then it's probably going to be like weeds. It'll start, if you fix it right away, no big deal. But if you don't, then you go down that gauntlet and then...
Yeah, they will give you like a 24-hour notice to remedy the situation. Mm-hmm. And then after 24 hours, if you have not remedied the situation, the animal will be removed and citations will be given.
So they're actually going to nip this one in the bud quicker.
Yes.
Gotcha. Butt too, I guess.
Yeah. We are trying to give people as much notice as possible so that way they can, make the alterations that they need. If you have an escape artist, you're going to have to find alternate means to keep your dog in the yard.
And I'm going to take a stab. If they see you're working, they'll work with you. But if you're putting in no effort, then they'll probably the path of least resistance to get this streamlined and corrected.
Right, because they don't want you to have your animal running large.
Sure.
But your animal does not need to be chained up in a yard.
And I'm sure the last thing the city wants to do is be taking animals because we've already talked about overpopulation. That just adds to these problems we already have.
It really does.
So they don't want to do this. So please make that effort. Make that, and like I said, even if you're having trouble, talk with the city, work with them. They will work with you on it.
If if you're unsure of certain things, call down there, talk to them, and say, hey, I need to know exactly what I'm going to be required to have set up for come April 13th. Mm-hmm. If you have questions, ask. No question is a dumb question. Because if you don't do this line of work, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that this one thing in your head and it's why are they picking on me? It's like we have a major pet issue in this community.
We do.
Overpopulation, just loose. I mean, I've never, and I grew up in the D.C. area, and and I've never seen like just cats just roam neighborhoods like they do around this town.
So, I recently helped with animal protection in Mexico to try to pass House Bill 113 to help where the state of New Mexico and animal protection have a fund set up for shelters to get grants through them to better apply for animal care, building maintenance, medical, basic needs of what shelters need.
Right.
Or, helping provide pay to counties that are short staff and then they need more employees to cover. Because the main problem is we have 20 animals to one staff. So one person for 20 animals is a lot.
It's kind of like classrooms when you got one teacher and 30 kids in there. It's a lot.
It really is a lot. And so they're trying to help it to where we can have more people on hands doing more of the things that the animals need.
Sure.
But at the same time, part of that bill is to prosecute people who are neglecting, cruelty, abandonment of all animals, livestock included, to show that New Mexico supports animals. Now, Roswell is considered a rural area from the northern part of our state. Roswell's population is 47,000. Do you know we euthanize more in our city than Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, and Las Cruces combined?
That's a crazy stat.
And that's not including the amount of animals that FORA has pulled that we take in and we transfer out. That's
the pipeline of resources that try to save
right.
as many
So
of these
we
as
have
possible.
basically overpopulated Colorado. We've got Texas covered. We got parts of Utah covered. Washington's, kind of slowing down. Wyoming is slowing down because we've sent our animals out to other
from
places.
Our community.
All from our community, Roswell.
Not New Mexico. Roswell, New Mexico.
Chaves County.
Yeah, Chaves
7,000
County.
square miles, whatever it is for our county.
That's insane.
So 47,000 people versus, 2.2 million with Albuquerque, Santa Fe, all that area up there. So an eighth of the population has overpopulated animals bigger than half of the state of New Mexico. Yeah. We have a problem. And the problem is the community is not being proper pet owners. They need to be spaying and neutering, vaccinating their animals, keeping them in their yard. Animals are not money makers. You don't get an animal to breed it to make money.
Yep.
If you have an animal, it should be a part of your family. It should be a pet. If that is not your intention, do not get it.
And if it's livestock, you treat it accordingly.
It is, like our horse.
Yeah.
John will debate with you all day long that horses are meant for working. And I get that, Yes, horses are working animals.
They're one of those few dual-role animals. They're as
However,
much pets as
at
they are
a
working.
certain point in their life, they deserve to be a lush pet.
Yep.
Our horse is old.
It's no different than your police dogs or working dogs.
Right.
At some point, they hit 10 or whatever that magic number is, and they go off just being dogs again.
Now, if it were possible, yes, my horse would be inside the house, cuddled up with mama. It's not possible.
No, just
but
size would be tricky.
No, I've seen a lot of people that have their horses come inside their house, but
Yeah, it's called Mr. Ed. It was, and they only really went into the front door there.
But they didn't stay in the house. I've worked at the shelter for 20 years. This year in July makes 20 years.
Sure.
I don't do what I do because the pay and benefits are great. I do what I do because I have a passion for animals and a disliking for stupid people. And there's plenty of both.
Yeah.
And education is the key. If we're not educating the community and the public, and one of the APNM things is to get a program into the school system to start educating kids at a younger age.
Makes sense.
Regardless of what their parents are teaching them at home, if you can get it to them at a young enough age, it will instill in their brain and hopefully create a better adult by teaching them at a younger age.
And I think, too, is as we get more, and, as we're using and incorporating animals more into the work life nowadays, I think we're going to see where that blends together even more so, and where we look at pets as part of the family today, and I think we'll continue to do so. But I almost think in the future, pets will serve certain roles other than what they currently do is love and support.
Well,
like,
we
I
have the
legit think
Casa
there's going to be
dogs
that
are like the emotional support for the kids.
I feel like that's going to be kind of a staple like thing maybe in households where there is the dog that gets the paper every day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a thing. Like, that could happen.
There are so many dogs that I see on videos, on reels and everything, where they have the dogs trained to open the refrigerator, retrieve a beverage or something.
But I think, like, for like your epileptics, folks that deal with those, and we're seeing all, like, I feel like that's going to be a more common thing where people that are getting diagnosed with these things, standard operating procedure is get them a service dog, get them something, because there's too much evidence, and at the end of the day, investing that money in that kind of thing as to create the next new magic pill, which, we go down that road and keep down that road. But these are the types of things, and I think that also is going to serve the role in overpopulation issues, is finding ways to incorporate, pets into other roles other than just being a family pet. And so that's the big, but you're absolutely correct on everything you said. We here in the Roswell community have to be responsible people on this stuff. It's been decades and decades of misuse, mistreatment, mislogic on all of this stuff, and we are paying the piper on that one right now. That's why animal control, that's why the humane side, that's why these rescues, and they're all at capacity or at their extremes on what services they can offer, and so it's to a point, and it's, it's really bad. Like you said, it's really bad when we're just sending to Albuquerque or to Artesia. But now when we've got literally the western half of the country pretty much stocked with pets, if that's not an alarming thing that does not raise a red flag, and I wish that's not even out of one of the 50 states. That's out of one town that is a medium-sized small town.
Right, and the Chaves County, it includes Dexter, Hagerman, and the part of Lake Arthur as well. And then, all the outskirts of Chaves County.
Exactly. But,
it includes all of it. But at the same time,
90% of Chaves County's population is right here in Roswell.
It is. 90% is here, and then, the other 10% is without
Hagerman, Dexter, Lake Arthur, and the creamy points in between there.
It is. And so the majority of people, they take animals out, they dump them out in the county thinking, they'll revert back to,
ends up on someone's land.
The wild time, and yes, they end up on somebody's land. They are hungry. They attack their livestock. And what happens? That animal gets shot.
And I hate to burst this bubble. Domesticated animals
don't survive.
They aren't built for living in the wild anymore.
No.
There's not.
They don't resort back to the wild.
This is why feral cats don't make good house pets. This is because they've crossed that line.
Right. Yes. You can't have an animal who's used to being fed on a schedule and then just take it and leave it out and expect it to fend for itself. Yeah. That's like a child. That's like you taking a 2-year-old and feeding it and taking care of it, nurturing it, and then leaving it out in the wild. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to starve.
Yep. And especially like this is the thought I always have, just because of me and my world, is, I got my 2 cats, and I ever think, like, if they ever just got out and gone, like, would they just be bullied by the other cats?
Probably.
Or like, would they be brought in? And I'm thinking, no, I think they're going to look at them and make them into whipping, because they're fat compared to what we got outside here,
Well, and then, like, you look at all, like, the cartoons, the Aristocats.
Yeah.
You've got your pampered kitties, which are our house cats.
Like, my cat goes on a conniption fit if there's a hole this big in her food.
Yeah. So, you have your princess kitty, and then you have your alley cat, and...
Like, for 10 minutes, they're going to love it. They're going to be running around chasing whatever, and then they were like, okay, when's lunch? And then they don't know where lunch is, and that's what's going to be.
Right. They're going to be like, wait a minute, where's the bowl? Where's the magic bowl?
All these birds I've been seeing out the window, I'm going to get one now. I'm going to get one. And then they...
And then 5 minutes into it, they're like, I'm tired, I'm not getting one.
Oh, they move too. This is hard. The ones in my house don't move. They just lay there till I pounce on them.
Yeah. I do have some stuff at the thrift store today too.
Yes, come shop.
Yes.
We can't adopt, but we can definitely shop.
Yeah. So today, all baskets, all the clothing in the baskets are half off.
Okay.
So what used to be 50 cents now 25 cents.
Nice.
Ladies' dress shoes, there's a plethora of them, and so they're going to be half off today as well.
Awesome.
On Valentine's,
I imagine people are starting to think about summer dresses, spring dresses. The weather's starting to think a little bit, I better start getting my cooler weather gear together.
Right. They're like, I'm going to be wearing it next week anyways.
Yeah, I'm going to need these sun's out, guns out.
Yep. Next Friday on Valentine's Day, anything red is going to be half off.
Nice.
So red shirt, red shoes, red pants, red hanging thing.
Practical gifts like that make excellent romantic gifts. All I'm saying, I mean, don't get like a blender unless like that's a couples thing, But
so I am all for kitchen gadgets.
Yeah, but you got to be on board. You can't surprise a person with one of those. They have to tell you. You can't.
Yes. If you tell them, okay, I would really like this.
Like if it's a conversation and we agree, then amazing, great. That's how marriages and couples.
You know what? Work. I didn't know I needed an espresso machine, but I got one and I love it.
Okay, but I'm just thinking, from the dude brain, never go that route.
Okay, just don't buy her a vacuum cleaner. That's gonna get you in hot water.
Unless they specifically, throw all those subtle, not so subtle hints at you.
Look, this is what you're going to buy me. I'm sending it to you in your Amazon cart.
Picture one on the fridge. Maybe you should go and get that. But,
But they do have a lot of different things. Like they have some really, really pretty wall decor. So if you have a partner, spouse, loved one, friend, cousin, somebody.
Or if they're a collector of things.
Yes.
Like, you guys got a bunch of knickknacks and things. Come down here. You'll be surprised at the rare stuff that you just see sitting on the store, the shelves of the thrift stores.
I have an antique honey jar.
Nice. So if you love
a glass blown,
so maybe if you're
with the honeycomb made into it, honey jar.
And that's how hard it is to get one of those, or find or if you do, or what they cost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I paid the price because I wanted it.
Right. But even still, because you got the thrift store, it's still. Like if you bought that off like eBay or something, it would be probably 10 times what you paid.
Probably. But, they also do have a very large Lazy Boy recliner, and I do believe it rocks, as well as kick your feet up and kick back. It's an overstuffed plushy one.
Okay.
For $300.
Not bad.
They have other small household items.
I'm going to take a stab. That thing new's probably $1,500. So
yeah.
At least. So.
And it's brown in color, as most recliners are. Why, I don't know.
I think it's because it's safe. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Coffee.
You can kind of like, you're like, hey, I got a pink recliner. Yeah, good luck making that match the rest of the room. Like browns, and we can work with that. But it's universal. So.
It is a very universal color. But they have a lot of other things. They have this really cool rolling shoe organizer.
Okay.
It looks, I don't know.
Somebody's listening. Finally.
Yeah. Somebody's like, she's speaking my language.
Some husband's like, no, that's a lot. I didn't
It's
send him to buy
not super
more
big.
shoes.
I'd say it's probably 3 feet by 3 feet tall.
Okay.
And then it's got like the mesh material, like, the ones that you hang in your closet.
Mm-hmm.
But this just kind of accordions out, and then it locks. And then you just sit your shoes in it, and you can wheel it around in and out. I saw that. I was like, oh, but I don't have a whole lot of shoes. I don't need that.
But
I'm not the shoe person. I am the purse person.
There is a lot of shoe people, so that one probably would be very
and
possible.
It's so weird. The majority of people that come into the thrift store that are looking for shoes, like they have a specific shoe that they are looking for. And I'm like, wow, I've never been that kind of a shoe person.
Well, and I know, like, especially in sneaker world, where you get the Nikes and you have collectors. And
yes.
So but I also know in that world, newness is a thing. Like if you wear the shoes, that's diminishes the value of the shoe.
Yeah.
So
well, it's just like purse collectors. They put them in a case in the wall and they never touch them.
It's like don't take it out the box. What do you mean you took it out the box? It's kind of that mindset. But at the same time, I also think that world also says too, no, I'm going to wear them once or twice. Like they can't be dirty. That's a sin. Or there can't be a crack in the leather. That's a
right.
sin. But you got to at least put them on to say that
feel them.
Yeah. So you can show up at the thing to say you got the kicks, and then put them back in the vault. so to speak.
Just like the Hyundai Santa Fe commercial.
I think
where the guy didn't get the shoes, but he shows up with a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. But and now well, today's Thursday, but Wednesday's new stuff
It is
day. So
it is day.
so that the new stuff's out for this week. So come on down, and like you said, everything red here for Valentine's is going to be on sale. So even if you're not looking for Valentine's, but you're just looking for things and just happens to be red, it's on sale. You know,
if your kitchen decor is red and you need more red stuff,
that's right.
Come down.
It's like, yeah, I've been looking for some red pillows and red accent to my living room. Come on down. Or you know what? I need more red in my wardrobe.
Yeah, I do. Like, because Fridays is red. Remember, everyone deployed.
Absolutely. You know, we've got to have at least one red in the lineup there too. So, good deal. Of course, if you're curious and want to see what pets are at the shelter right now, is the website still a little cattywampus? Or
so for the most part, it's allowing us to do what we need to do.
Okay.
How long that's going to last, I don't know, but
Gotcha.
We're slowly getting the newer, updated part done.
Yeah, the website's transitioning to more newer,
updated software,
modern platforms and things like that. So it's in a bit of an influx at the moment right now. But if there's some immediate stuff, always like and follow the Humane Society, Roswell Humane Society Facebook page.
We have an Instagram now, too.
Oh, and now you got Instagram as well, so you can like on Instagram for all the Instagram users out there.
Yes. So I guess Facebook bought Instagram or Instagram bought Facebook. Yeah. I don't know how it is. But so we have it set up to where if we post on one, it posts on the other. So It's posting in both. So if you don't have a Facebook page, but you have an Instagram page,
you're not missing anything.
You're not missing anything. Come and find us on Instagram.
But if you're one or the other, or if you do both, you can like both.
Yeah, if you do both, you can like both.
That way you have a better chance. Like if you missed it on the Facebook, it might show up on your Instagram, depending on how your algorithms are fit, I guess.
Yeah. The thrift store has their own Facebook page. They post stuff like hot topics or hot items and stuff like that. They'll post them on their Facebook page.
The rare finds that pop in from time to time. And please, if you'd like to donate, call ahead.
Yes. As spring is starting to come sooner, people are starting to clean out early.
People are going to start cleaning out the sheds and storage areas and all that.
They're going to get rid of the old, bring in the new.
Yeah.
Call us ahead of time. Make sure Camille has room because our storage area is limited.
Sure.
And so we can't have everything piled up to where it creates a trip hazard. We have to make it safe for people in wheelchairs or walkers to get through.
And part of it, too, is I'm guessing some of it's shared space. So if there's like you had a flux of hay and things like the space is being utilized for other stuff,
Well,
too.
I have the straw in an area to where it can't get wet because if it gets wet, it gets damaged.
No bueno. Yeah.
So that is completely separate. And then the thrift store has their own little storage shed.
I gotcha. Okay. I was just kind of figuring, because of collecting donations for more, it kind of might eat up into space there a little bit too. So.
Our space is limited on both sides. However, if you have donations, if they're larger items, call ahead. For the majority of the time, if it's smaller items, a notice is not needed. But if you do have clothing, call ahead.
Yeah.
That is our number one donated item is clothing. And so they have to process it. They have to hang it.
That just can't go right from your car to the shelf. It's
right. So it goes through a little bit of a processing transition. And sometimes the back room gets a little overfilled with clothes and they're trying to get them out as fast as possible.
Sure.
So,
but you got to give them a little breathing room to catch up a little bit. It's like, can you hold it for a day or two so that they catch up, and then maybe we'll have some space for it.
And that's, Camille will tell you, hey, if you've got a lot of clothes, can you hang on for just a little bit? If it's a couple of bags, sure.
But please keep donating because and I'm telling you right now, we're just about to talk, but I'm telling you right, like if you're looking for say you're young, starting a new job, looking for business clothing, things like that, don't waste your time going to the department stores. Go right to the thrift store, get your dresses, get your suits. Pay pennies on the dollar because I know you want to look like $1 million, but you're broke because you just got a new job and you now got to buy $1,000 worth of wardrobe and you got $10 to your name.
And you got to pay rent.
Let's make you look like $1 million with your $10.
Yes. And if there's something specific you're looking for or a certain size or something like, hey, I need a suit that's this size, tell Camille, tell Amanda, tell Jeremiah, hey, this is what I'm looking for work. If something comes in, here's my number, call me. They will do it.
Yep.
They will keep their eye out for you. They will do it. They have a little cork board with,
just for the,
for lookings.
Requests and lookings.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So please support there in the meantime. And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call.
Yes, the office is open, so if you need to talk to us, come in, talk to us. I just can't let you go see the dogs.
Right, can't let you in there. But if you have questions, or if you happen to see a picture of one online and asking about it, or asking what, because right now it's indeterminate until things start tamping down, and then you can put a timetable on it. But I'm guessing it's like you have one case that sets all right, now it's at a week. But as soon as another one, we got to reset it for another week.
That's exactly how it goes. Yeah. So if nobody else shows any symptoms or any issues, we'll be clear on the 18th.
Gotcha.
If somebody else in the meantime shows symptoms or issues, then we have to start over.
Right. So give it a few days, but as we get close to the 18th, and if you want to check and get an update, call first.
Yeah, you're welcome to call. We can tell you, yes, quarantine's off, no, it got extended, or, it wasn't distemper, it was something else, and so it got relieved.
I'm going to take a stab, and it's probably going to get pushed back one, because I'm going to just run the numbers. You're going to come up with another case or two over the next week or two. That's just probably what's going to happen.
Unfortunately, that's probably the realism of it.
Yep. So that being said, but please, folks, be responsible pet owners. If you're not in compliance with this new ordinance, please get on the city's website, read up on it, study it, get in compliance. If you need help, don't hesitate to contact the city. Let them do that. And, of course, shop and support and donate, and all of that helps keeping the Humane Society going and keeping these pets adopted.
Yes.
Good deal. Well, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And don't work too hard. And I'm not going to say go Eagles. I can't do that. But I hope you have a good
go NFC.
There you go. I'll say have a good Super Bowl Sunday.
Go NFC. See, it's not even the whole Eagle thing. It's the NFC. I'm an NFC girl. You're an NFC guy.
Yeah.
We're both in the same division.
I know. It's the Eagles.
I know, but
it's rooting for Darth Vader in Star Wars. It's just not right.
But it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid again.
I know. But at least I can
Chicken
deal with
nuggies?
that. Well, I can deal with that because I'm like, hey, at least they win it again. Now I got to listen to how great the Eagles are from these losers for another year. I don't want to hear it.
They've only got one Super Bowl actual
I know.
win.
That doesn't shut them up, though.
I know, because they're proud and they're loud.
That's right. Pepperidge Farm remembers. I remember when y'all were the basement of the NFC East every year. And actually, I take that back. You weren't the basement of the NFC East because we still had the Cardinals in our division. They were the basement of the NFC East, but they were still in St. Louis at that time. So anyway, we got to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico, News in Progress.
Old Washington tradition that brings together a bipartisan group of lawmakers for fellowship. Also at townhall.com, the Senate expected to vote